By the way, I got a new audio interface. The Scarlett Solo, or Focusrite Scarlett Solo, 4th gen. Seems pretty good. Thanks for the follow. You've been here before, Whistle Willie. Welcome back. Another day, new account for you, huh? So I think, hold on a second. I think it'll be, I'm not whistling. Oh, my bad. Yeah, okay. You tricked me for a second there. So previously the old audio interface I was using was kind of shitty, and its microphone needs a lot of gain. So I had to really stress the preamps. So there was there was a really high noise floor. I don't have a cloud lifter or any inline preamps, so I still have to stress the preamps. But it should have a low enough EIN that I don't think you guys can hear much of it. At least I couldn't hear much of it when I monitored it. Like I can still see, like, if I don't speak, like the levels are, like there is definitely a noise floor there, but we need low noise floor. I think it's low enough. When I was testing it, it seemed fine. And high dynamic range. Here. I can test it again. I'm just curious. Yeah, like it seems fine. It's gonna be, I mean, realistically, okay. There's nothing I can do that'll ever get it better than PPG's microphone. So why do I even try? Okay, stream was doing fine, and now I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing a few dropped frames. I don't know why. There's no good reason it should be doing it. But, yeah, next thing to upgrade won't be the opportunity cost of getting inline preamp is just too high. It's just not worth it at all. So the next thing to upgrade will be a Twitch stream has been fucked for a while, dude. It only since the presidential debate. I don't know. It starts skipping. That might be a you problem. Now it says my stream is fine again. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with it. Like the last, yeah. Not even bullshitting. No, I know you're not, because it gives me metrics on how good my stream is. Like right now it says it's fine. I do have 5.5% drop frames. Some of that might be, I don't know, some of the skipping might be a you problem. I feel like, oh no, it actually kind of makes sense. It skips and it gets really delayed, yeah. Right now it says it's fine. I'm not streaming to shorts yet. I might not be able to stream to shorts. I don't know what the issue is though. I literally have zero clue. On debate last night, you were like minutes behind. Yeah, I fixed it eventually, but yeah, I was minutes behind for a while. You told me. I know. It's I don't get it though. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Everything else, like, it works fine. It's not even, part of it is, it's a Wi-Fi issue, but I don't know why the Wi-Fi is an issue. It's the thing. Are you using OBS? Yeah, I'm using OBS. What else would I use? That isn't just based on OBS. Slobs is OBS. Stream Elements has their own version of OBS apparently. But I never have any issues with with uploading videos or downloading shit. It's just when I stream, and only sometimes when I stream. Like 80% of the time it's fine. Right now it's fine. It, for whatever reason, has a little bit more dropped frames than I would like, but it's fine. Now it seems better. Yeah, no, it's definitely better, because again, I can see. I just don't know. It just infuriates me that I don't know. Play video. I will in a second. Just infuriates me that I don't know what the issue is. Okay. Well, it's debate night, so I have my debate sweatshirt on, like always. Never lost a debate in this sweatshirt, because I only wear it to debate death matches, and I've yet to lose a debate death match. Always got the solid blue background for debate death matches. I've had to go like online to like schedule like college shit and I do like virtual meetings to schedule it. I see you win all debates except with you. I want to debate deathmatch against PPG, but okay. But I like do Zoom meetings with like college counselors and shit to like plan my schedule. I've done 2 of them. Neither of them complimented my setup, even though my setup is goated. These bitches be on they laptop webcam and don't appreciate the effort I put in. What are you studying? I'm gonna do economics.
Came back and prices went down.
Speaking of
for
economics,
American citizens.
This is not true. After the series of tariffs passed in 2018, U.S. consumer prices for affected goods rose. Boom, boom, and boom. This is in contrast to the Chinese and non-Chinese goods that were not affected by the tariffs. And then China...
This is such a stupid debate. Obviously, it's going to increase prices. Obviously, at the very least in the short term. Okay, see, now in my stream, I seems to be lagging a little bit. But I don't know. Why? It's so annoying.
I responded with retaliation.
But it's not like... Conservatives are the one that are like constantly screech about like the minimum wage. It's when you play videos, but it shouldn't. That shouldn't affect it. Like, it's just annoying. I don't understand. Yeah, no, I get that now, but sometimes it's not even when I play videos.
Retaliatory tariffs, and that affected our export prices. American producers and farmers had to lower their selling price to China in order to compete. Source.
It's just dumb because conservatives will like screech nonstop about how like minimum wage increases unemployment, which is true. Like you can do a supply and demand graph and like, wow, look, so it's going to increase unemployment. That's crazy. What's up, Bert Stein? It's like, yeah, obviously minimum wage is going to increase unemployment to like some extent. How elastic the demand curve for labor is debatable, obviously. But like then they don't use that same logic for tariffs. now they're all of a sudden are like, let's look at the empirical data sides with tariffs increasing prices. So like they're just mega retarded. I don't know.
After doing a little bit of math and science, they find that tariffs exhibited nearly complete pass-through to the consumer. The incidence of the tariff lies largely with the United States. This is not an isolated result. Another paper here looked at the large 20% tariff placed on all imported
What up,
washing
Waffle Stopper?
machines.
Tariffs are bad. Minimum wage increases are also bad, in my opinion. I don't have a huge issue with the minimum wage just because it looks like the demand for labor is pretty inelastic. In my ideal world, there would not be minimum wage because we just give people like a UBI and there wouldn't be any need for minimum wage. In my ideal world, there would not be minimum wage. Scheduled for a panel, is that true? Yeah, look at the title, buddy.
Washers and dryers rose after the tariff. That's the red and blue line. And this is in comparison with other large appliances which did not see a price rise. The refrigerators in green and dishwashers in yellow. Some might be saying, hey, I'll pay those prices if it means saving U.S. jobs. Okay,
I work hard,
I'm
crop.
sympathetic to that goal.
Piers Morgan is a tool? Yeah, but it gives me super good YouTube reaction views. When I upload that shit to YouTube, I get like 1,000 fucking views every time. So, of course, I'm going to do it.
But is this the best way to do that? Washing machines became more expensive, and that resulted with a total cost to consumers of $1.5 billion every year. We can divide that by the number of domestic jobs that might have been saved, and we find a cost of roughly $900,000 per job. Now, where did that money go? Not to the workers. They were making a salary a tenth of that. It mostly just vanishes into thin air. Less trade means less.
I average like, actually, I think technically I average like 4 viewers, but this is 5 people is not that
tariffs.
4 viewers on Twitch, and then I average like, I have 3 on YouTube right now. And then I'm sure there's some on fucking Twitter and Rumble.
Up our production processes. Throwing a wrench into the machine to save a mechanic's job is not
5 is pog.
to sustainable prosperity. In fact, once we take into account all the effects of the retaliatory tariffs, this paper finds that U.S. manufacturing experiences reduction.
What do kids? I say pog still. I don't say pog that much, but pog is funny to say.
Here, less employment and higher prices. A recent paper looked at the counties that were affected by the trade war. Protectionist tariffs
40.
didn't save any jobs, and then the retaliatory tariffs had a clear negative employment impact.
I don't know. I still say fire a lot. I go fire. That's fire, man. Even though I don't think it's a very kid thing to say. Okay, I know what this is now because I had this Pog Life. I had this before. I think this borders Pakistan. This isn't a country. It's so weird that this is on here, but I think it borders Pakistan. Yeah. I think it's a disputed territory technically between India, Pakistan, and China. That shit is tight. People say that, yeah. Pakistan, Iran, Iraq. It's so weird that they have that listed as a separate thing. I don't know why. I don't know why they do that. Asian Glacier Patriot. Morocco to Denmark. Okay, so Germany, oh, Sweden. I forgot. Sweden, Finland, Russia is going to be the fastest. Yeah, Georgia, Turkey. I'm going to start streaming on shorts, but I expect that I'm probably going to have to stop. Turkey. Bulgaria. It's probably worth it to stream just shorts and not Bulgaria. Oh, so fuck. I'm retarded. I don't know why I was thinking Morocco wasn't England, dude. So I've disrespected a lot of people on Twitch, and I thank you for sending the reel. What? Send it. Libya, Algeria. Damn. I just made two careless mistakes. Sweden, Norway. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're both one away. Yep. But what if I did Bulgaria, Romania, Hungary, Austria, Switzerland, France, Spain? Does it count Spain as bordering? Spain does border Morocco, like over here, right? Do you do word or connections? Nope, not really. I'm not really good at it. I'm decent at geography, but I'm not at all good at that stuff. So, like here, do I want to do Africa is the hardest one for me. Fuck. Benin. Central African Republic, I think is that one. I think this is one of the islands. Gambia. Africa is hard, yeah. Spain definitely borders Morocco. I think it's just a bit longer, although let me think. Spain does border Morocco. It's like, isn't it literally the shortest border in the world? Oh. I'm thinking of this one. This like one little island here. This is like the, I guess there's this like city here. Denmark, Germany, France, Spain. No, look at it. What? The Spain-Morocco border? Hold on. The thing I was thinking of is literally this little island right here. It's not an island. It's an isthmus. This. I'm thinking of this. Spanish enclave. Connected by shore by a sandy isthmus, and it's also connected to a smaller island. It's bordered from Morocco. Yeah, since one of the shortest international borders in the world. This specific one, not like Spain and Morocco all together. But I was just thinking of this because this is like a shit you see on top 10 cool geography facts. There are multiple of those. Yeah, the short. Okay. Yeah, not total. Definitely not total. I don't know what the shortest total border is, but. Oh, well, Vatican City just seems like cheating. This says that, but that's not what I'm thinking of. The shortest international boundary between Denmark and Germany.
Made everyone happy except for this guy. What's more, they decided to build a bridge to link the two countries, which will be done in
You are clearly not living in reality, non-fun. Your show is a joke.
2019 and will take the country a place like Bar-Nassau. The easiest way to describe this town is
Oh, and this is just the Netherlands and Belgium enclaves. That makes sense.
to just take all of Africa. Then do you remember that time 50 years later when Europe decided to be cool?
Okay, we have 9 minutes. If I was smarter, I'd be fucking reading shit. I didn't prepare for this that much. I usually prepare for debates pretty well, but I did not do that much for this one. But you know, we'll live. God damn, what is why is stream broken? Why? Is it like laggy for someone type something? See how long it takes to pop up. Oh, okay. Well, I'll stop streaming to the dumb platforms first. You should fix it. I don't know how, because I don't know what the it's just like our Wi-Fi nominally is fine. Our Wi-Fi appears fine in terms of just speed, raw speed, but there's got to be something fucky with it. Okay, how we're not streaming a short here. Oh, Bert Stein gifted a sub to Wampa Stomper. Hell yeah. Thank you, Bert Stein. Helps a lot, dude. Thank you. Slightly less of a disappointment now. Fuck yeah, let's go. Need to figure out what is hitting the transcoder hard in OBS, or it's a network issue. I'm pretty sure it's a network issue because it wouldn't. If it were just with the transcoders, wouldn't it also be affecting? I got sub. You got a gifted sub, buddy. Wouldn't it like? Because right now I stopped streaming. I'm only streaming to Twitch and YouTube now, and it's fine. If it was the transcoders, wouldn't it still fuck up with just two? In this world of destiny of mankind controlled by transcendental entity law, is it like the hand of God at least? At least it is true that man has no control over its own will. True. Thank you, Bert. You see high CPU. Yeah, but my CPU utilization isn't high. We checked that last time. Do you remember? Right now it's at like 20% because I stopped streaming and shit. But aye. Here's a list. Some people have to be subtle. I do not know how to use Windows based. Shut up pretty quick. Yeah, it'll definitely be fine now, but like it's just annoying that I can't stream to shorts when shorts has really high discoverability, and it also increases like it's literally just free. Well, it's not free because it fucks up my stream, but otherwise it'd just be free watch time. And the other sites like Twitter actually does have decent discoverability, and like Rumble pays me at least a little money.
Yeah, that is. Oh, speak of the devil. Speak of the fucking
what?
devil. Yeah, I was just shitting on you.
Talking shit about me?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was saying you're a
Why?
little bitch, Garfield. That's what I was saying.
God damn.
Yeah,
A little
I was
bitch
going-
Garfield.
Yeah, I was going hard on
I
that
wish
shit.
Garfield
That's-
was my little bitch. God damn.
Jesus
You see
Christ,
that ass?
non-font, end the conversation there.
You see that
Just
cake?
Don't go any further. Please do not go any further.
He's got a
Damn.
fetish for Italian food. You gotta really appreciate his like upfrontness about it, you know.
Right, so for anybody who's watching the stream, I don't know if anybody's watching the stream. Stream is kind of dead at this point, but we have a new setup for anybody who's wondering what the timers down below are. This is something that I'm going. Yeah, we're gonna have timers here, but it's not for like you guys are gonna have like time.
Are we doing this like Trump Kamala style? Where we're,
No,
like, 2 minutes
so
each, and
no,
then it's
you're
like,
not gonna be no.
You let us continue anyway, even after we like go past. your time.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing.
I
that.
will
That
speak
kind of-
over you.
Yes. We are going to. I'm going to be timing the times that you guys talk. So it's just for like data collection. I'm collecting data right now. So yeah, we're going to do that. And obviously, it's going to give us an indication for who's been speaking the longest, and like a couple of other. And then as we go along, I'll be adding more things to this. I'm kind of working on something in the background, so. It's kind of spying, collecting your information.
Yeah.
All right, we've got another 4 minutes to go.
4 minutes. Oh boy,
Yeah,
we gotta wait
we've got-
4 minutes in order for us to do this. I've been thinking about. Okay, yeah, I've been looking at a gun I want to buy, but I've never like bought a gun and had it shipped to me.
That's pretty
Like,
random.
I don't know, like, I don't know how much I like trust the shipping process of like buying a gun and having it like shipped to me and all that.
A gun? Wait, you guys buy guns? What is it like? You from Alibaba or some
Yeah,
shit?
you can go to
What
fucking
do you-
Walmart.
Go
to Walmart, brother.
I don't know if
Where
I'm
are you
allowed to
buying it
talk
from?
about this on Twitch, but it's like the Arms List is website.
Arms list is completely and utterly fine. The shipping and all of that is going to be fine. I assure you, you'll be all right.
These guys order fucking guns as if they're ordering a goddamn chair or some shit.
God,
This
I
is
love
wild.
being American. It's so fucking based. You have no
God
idea.
damn.
You haven't the slightest clue. My
I
alarm clock
haven't.
is set up to a gun, dude. Every morning. that shit's in the clock.
Yeah, I see. I just
What?
clicked on your profile because I didn't know who you were, and I see your banner has the guy who invented the web feed image
The web
format.
feed format. Yeah, fuck that guy. Whoever did that.
Jesus Christ.
What's people's issue with that? I only use Photoshop. Photoshop reads it just fine. Okay,
Because
I don't see a big
you
issue.
download an image and you're like, oh, this is Lay Epic Funny Meme. I'm going to share Lay Epic Funny Meme with my friend. And then you go to upload it, and it is not recognized by fucking anything.
I guess it does not
You've been
recognize my Discord or
bamboozled.
anything. Yeah.
I've been lied to.
I like
Great.
this format.
Wow.
This is a good
luck.
format.
Thank you. Oh, I probably should have muted for that.
You know, chat, you never compliment me on the new setup. You know, I sit and work for hours on this
Bro.
shit. Nobody ever
Bro.
has anything
Like,
positive
holy
to
Thanks,
say.
shit!
okay.
I just bumped
Not
up to
a
8 viewers.
single
What the
time.
fuck?
I didn't see the previous
Hey.
setup, so I don't know if it's an upgrade or if it's a downgrade. But
All
I
right,
will say,
here's the
I
previous
do like its
upgrade.
brutal simplicity. Okay.
Here is the previous one.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. I
what
mean,
was
just
the other one?
imagine that within the frame, the lightened up frame, it would be
Yeah.
the Discord. Yeah.
I
But
mean,
now
that's
we've got like the
pretty interesting.
timer. I don't even know. Is this an upgrade? It feels like a downgrade. I don't know why.
I think it's an upgrade. I like it.
I like
Looks
the
interesting.
timers. You
Yeah,
only
the
like
timers.
it because your stupid little picture is there. That's the only reason why non-fun.
Wait, who
My
here is
stupid little
Trey?
picture, like my profile
Yeah.
picture. Like,
Yeah. You see,
who
that's
here
pretty
is-
cool how I did that.
Who here is
I'm
Trey?
just Trey
Trey
is the green
my,
man.
Yeah.
Trey- my friend, and
His
Yeah,
bias.
I'm going to give
biased
him
judge.
1 million points.
Yeah,
Trey, that is a
I mean, at
beautiful
least he's
picture.
honest.
That is a beautiful picture of Creamy
Yeah, I was a-
Sheev. I
that
love to
is-
see it.
Who the fuck is that? Boulder
Creamy-
guy?
It's Creamy Sheev.
Cream Sheev? Okay,
No,
I'm
Creamy
not-
Sheev. He's creamy.
I don't know what that means, but I am a creamy guy.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
let's not.
Just know
Let's
these
not
kind of
elaborate on
jokes
that one.
are going to be for the entire stream. We're going to be hearing shit like that.
Let's not elaborate on that one, guys. Okay. Right, I need to do a test. We're gonna do a test for your voices. So, non-fun. Go ahead and start talking.
what's up, guys? I'm Nonfun. Find me on Twitch at Nonfun420 or on YouTube at Nonfun.
I mean, I
stream.
literally, it's a test. It's not a shill yourself. Okay. Next,
yeah,
what's
but you're
Sako?
giving me an opportunity to shill.
I
I'm
mean,
always gonna
based-
plug.
based,
Duh.
I appreciate. I can value that. Go ahead. What's Saku?
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. This is my normal talking level. Testing, testing. 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Base. Thank you. North.
Testing. 1, 2,
Jesus
3.
fucking Christ. Okay, try that again. Go ahead. Okay, that's better.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Oh wait, now it's gone. Wait, what have you done? Wait,
Back down.
what? Okay,
I messed with the game.
okay, don't do that. Just leave it where it is, and I'll
where it is
monitor
is
from here.
fine. Yeah.
Okay, based. All right, next. Trey, go ahead.
Yo.
No, you need to continue. You need to continue. Keep talking.
What's
He wants to get
up?
to rant.
Do I just
Don't
like
worry.
mute myself during the debate?
No, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. Okay,
Okay,
next. K is pretty much silent. He doesn't really say much.
True.
Good thing he's debating this time.
Yeah, K, can you do a test for me, my love?
No.
Come on, love. Come on, baby. You can do it.
What
Just
the
a
hell are
little
you?
bit.
What are you?
Camera thing. Start
Don't worry
You
about
hit,
it.
you hit start virtual cam, and then
And
you
then
make
that
the
doesn't-
virtual camera your source in Discord.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. So turn on camera.
Wait, I swear to
then-
God, if he figures it out in like
OBS virtual
3
camera.
seconds, this
Yeah,
is
I don't
gonna
know how it
be
took-
wild.
Yeah, I got it working. It's good.
Okay, well
You
you,
guys-
have the. Okay, wait. Do you, I don't know if you have this on your OBS. Do you see
He
is there like a
does.
settings thing next to the start
A
virtual
cogwheel.
cam?
Yeah, there is.
Okay, so can you click that and then on output type, click like source, and then on the output selection, find your webcam. So it's just your webcam and
I
not.
see. So it's not like my stream. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's not like your full stream. It should be just be your webcam.
God, I bet this guy never
Video
stopped listening to
capture
news
device.
after high school.
Here we are. Got it.
Wow, you figured it out
Okay.
like 3 days faster than the
Fuck
boss
you.
did. Goddamn.
Literally, fuck you. I hate you already. This is
Goddamn.
wild. Okay, right. So let's get
Basic
started.
tech literacy.
We're right on time. Right, everybody shut the fuck up. Boss is speaking. Let's go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 17 of Debate Deathmatch. Today we have with us Non-Fon, who is I'm kind of sus about him now. I feel like he wants to climb the ranks and win something here, it feels like. But he is with us today, so welcome, Non-Fon. On the other side, we have North. He's got he's here as well, and they're going to be debating free will and whether it exists or not. Okay, we're going to give the floor open, and for anybody paying attention to the stream, we have our timers at the bottom, which will be beginning as soon as the opening statements start, and then obviously everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Also, if you guys like this content, go ahead and like, subscribe, follow. All their links are in the description of the video and everything. If I'm not too lazy to
You should
upload
follow
this shit.
me on Twitch, twitch.tv/thatguysnorth.
Okay, we're
We
shitting
all know
ourselves
I'll
way
edit
ahead
the
of
video
time.
first.
Thank
I'll
you,
have my
guys.
video edited way before you, the boss, like always. So
Thank
I'm gonna
God,
cut that out for
please.
you.
I swear to
I will
God.
have my video out by tonight.
With-
How about that?
Yeah,
With
but he won't
pleasure.
edit it because he's lazy.
Yeah, I won't.
true for real. You won't have the Destiny copy intro like I do.
Yeah,
The
I hope
Destiny
I hope
copy
you
intro.
guys
Imagine
can.
shilling Destiny.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
get
just
garbage
copied his
and
intro.
eat it.
Destiny's pretty based. I like Destiny. Okay, right. So wait, let me get these timers figured out. All right, so we've got 2 of them. That's Non-Fon, and that
Would
is
it be bad
North.
if I took a piss right now? Like,
Oh my
you
fucking
can
god.
do that if you have wireless headphones. If you do not, then you probably shouldn't do that because Non-Fon is going to give his opening statement, and then depending on how
okay,
long he
I'll
takes,
be listening, but just note while you're doing this, I'll be taking a piss.
nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. Go ahead, enjoy yourself. Right, Non-Fon, the floor is yours.
Okay, well I guess he's gonna. Okay, I guess we can't hear him piss. Goddamn. Okay, well.
Oh man.
I got a tough case ahead of me because seemingly everyone feels like they have free will. However, I won't be too sad if I lose because it's the only thing that could have possibly happened. This is what I mean when I say free will. The ability for conscious agents to have acted differently than they did in the past, whilst keeping all other factors the same. There are many reasons I believe this cannot be the case. First, although neuroscience is far from understanding everything about the brain, I believe we understand enough to call free will into question. Keeping this brief for the opening statement, various Libet-style studies show how parts of the brain will make decisions before we consciously make them. Experiments in split-brain patients also reveal how one half of the brain essentially tricks itself into believing it was acting freely when we know what was actually happening is the other half of the brain was making a decision. More fundamentally, we also know how neurons work. They either remain negatively charged or gain a positive charge when sufficiently excited by other neurons. It's hard to imagine how free actions could emerge when each neuron is simply doing as it's told. Second, there's a strong logical case against free will, borrowing the simplest argument given by Alex O'Connor. Thoughts and actions have causes. These causes are either determined or indeterminate. If they're indeterminate from whatever quantum randomness exists, then I'm not in control. If they're determined, then they're either determined by something outside the brain or inside of it. If it's determined by something outside the brain, then you're obviously not in control. If it's determined by some internal want or desire, you simply push the problem back and ask if the cause of that desire was either determined or indeterminate, neither of which you can control. Lastly, there's a physical argument against dualism, which can also be applied more narrowly to free will. Our brains are made up of physical material that models can predict future states of. Therefore, physics can, in some way, predict the way I will behave. If free will exists, then some soul or consciousness must interact with the body, and that would influence the way atoms move. This means violating the conservation of energy, which seemingly can't happen. I'm sure we'll run through some of the wacky implications this stance has in the debate, but it's important to remember I'm simply arguing that it is descriptively true that we do not have free will. It doesn't necessarily hold me to any position that the world would be better if we all believed we didn't have free will, or if we reformed our institutions to reflect such belief.
Okay, thank you, Non-Fon. Right. North, you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So the clock starts now. The clock is ticking.
I probably should unmute my microphone. I didn't realize we were supposed to write a whole ass introduction doc like my colleague over here.
You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing, North.
So yeah, we'll wing this. My colleague. I can call you a colleague, right?
Colleague?
Fellow streamer.
Sure.
My fellow streamer has pointed out he's coming at this from a scientific basis. But I'm more to come out of this at a more of a philosophical basis out of here.
I like
science. If you judge the world in a purely materialistic worldview, stop. Okay, someone's insulting me in my chat. If you look at the world in an entirely materialistic overview, then sure, it would make sense that free will does not exist because there will be action and there will be consequence. It's 400 years ago we basically discovered the fact that things happen because of things before that happening, and we've taken that a little bit too far by coming to a hard determinist stance. There has been no human formula ever created. There's been no predictive model that has been able to, no socioeconomic model that can predict human behavior. There's no scientific AI-generated model that can predict human behavior. It's all wishy-washy pseudoscience, essentially. Human behavior is inherently random. And there's no way that you can prove that scientifically that human behavior is not random.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
That was a complete ramble, I know. Holy shit.
That was a ramble. Congratulations.
I'm already down 6 points, I can guarantee it.
You're off to a good start. Right, judges, if any of you have added or subtracted any points so far, go ahead and remove them, because this is the moment that you will start, from this moment on, you will start adding and subtracting points accordingly. Chat, you know the deal. Interact with the debaters using your little fucking things in the corner down there. Yeah, you can ask questions directly or timed questions that come at the end of the debate. You can also fuck their shit up by asking a completely random and oblivious question with trivia. And Non-Fon loves them especially. I just want to tell you guys, okay? Non-Fon loves that
I've already
shit.
been stolen the points from my opening statement, and now you're doing the trivia shit too.
They're not even that expensive, guys, okay? So go ahead. You can fuck their shit up, all right? So, Non-Fon is going to take it away, and then from there... Wait, I've lost my mouse. Give me a second, guys.
Oh my God.
I've lost my mouse.
I'm not
Shut the
happy
fuck
about
up.
your predetermined decisions that you made.
You guys need to fuck right off. Where is my mouse? Okay, here we go. All right, it's here. Based. All right, non-fun. The floor is yours.
Okay, basically you mentioned that like you think human behavior is random. The word random is interesting. Depending on what random means, I'm coming at this from a determinist perspective, but even I will acknowledge everything isn't fully deterministic. There is quantum randomness, but that is simply probabilistic quantum weirdness. If I make a decision because, some quantum weirdness happened in my brain and it caused my synapses to leak.
Oh, wait, I completely forgot. 1 second on phone. Best moderator in the world. Kay, you have to ask them a question. Yo, guys, what the hell? We have to ask them a question.
Can I finish my point?
No, you can't. Kay needs to ask you a question because you're
asked the question and then only
Kay will ask the question. Kay is going to ask a question. It can be relevant to the topic or random as hell. He gets to decide whenever he comes in here and actually asks the question. So, Kay, go ahead and ask the debaters your question.
I don't have one right now.
I don't
go before me.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God.
Do you like poodles? Do you like poodles or Yorkshire Terriers?
I think we should socialize all dog breeding and eugenics them both out of existence.
Holy shit.
Wait, that's a legitimate answer. Okay, kind of based. I'm with that. I fucking hate poodles. Go ahead, North. What is your response?
I don't really care. I'm more
okay.
on what people do.
Okay, wait. Am I supposed to be giving points to this shit?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Give me points for my opening and don't give me points for this shit.
I kind of like big hairy dogs over poodles, but it's each their own. I like Malamutes. That's my favorite breed.
Okay, I was about to ask what libertarians have to do with dogs, but okay, awesome.
I have a libertarian view in terms of like dog breeding.
Yes, judges, you are free to add and subtract points for random questions like trivia or the question just asked now. So go ahead, non-fun. The floor is actually yours this time.
Okay, Jesus. Okay, you mentioned random. Just if a decision is random, I'm no more in control of it than if it was caused by a series of prior events. Like I mentioned in my opening statement, either it's determined by a chain of prior causes or it's indeterminate and therefore it's due to some fucking quantum or intrinsic randomness, then I'm no more in control of. I, as a conscious agent, can't take any responsibility for probabilistic quantum movements, right? And then also you mentioned no model can predict it. That is true. There are a lot of things in our universe that are chaotic. It's not predictable. However, that does not mean that they're indeterministic. It simply means we don't have a model that can predict it. Deterministic systems where tiny, minute changes in initial states can create wild variance in states later on does not mean that system is not deterministic. There are I think that there's this game called the Game of Life. There's I think I like watched a Veritasium video on it one time. We can take a game with a very simple set of rules, a deterministic set of rules. However, tiny changes in the initial state of this game will create wide, incredible differences in later states, and we cannot predict how or what the final states will be from the initial state, but it is still entirely deterministic.
Do I respond now?
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, the floor is open, guys. Feel free. It's an open conversation.
The floor is open. Okay, so you are mentioning probabilistic, as in, and you've also mentioned quantum mechanics as well. Do you believe that the probability being in physics inherently goes against any sort of hard determinate stance you can make? Because there's no action-reaction. There is action and then probability, afterward, You do think that contributes to your hard determinate stance or detracts from it?
I mean, it's not what people would call strict determinism, obviously, because it's quantum randomness, but it doesn't give you free will, is my point. I don't think the prompt of this mentions anything about hard determinism. I think I probably described myself as a hard determinist to you because I align more with them. But like, obviously, I will acknowledge that there is quantum weirdness and quantum probabilistic things that aren't strictly determinist, but they're just probabilistic.
Okay.
And I will also mention that like these are tiny changes that you could see in your brain. Even these are like do you know what a synapse is?
Yes, I'm familiar with a synapse.
Yeah, so it's like the gap between your neurons where the neurotransmitters flow. Basically, all the quantum weirdness, all the effects that it's been observed to have is to basically cause what's called a leaky synapse, where a small amount of neurotransmitters will be released from one neuron to the other, but almost always this is not enough to sufficiently excite the neuron into even activate one neuron. And then even if it is, when that neuron activates and releases neurotransmitters, it's almost certainly not going to be enough to react or activate the next neuron. So there's a bubbling up problem in that these almost never bubble up into any actual real decision making. But also, even if they did, it does not give you free will. There's no free will there.
So are you saying that that's all human will is just a bunch of bubbling up of neurons that are constantly just trying to like spew out thoughts, and then once it reaches a boiling point, then we have a random thought?
Well, it's not. I mean, it's deterministic. It's not entirely random. What I think human action is and human mental activity, I think all of that does translate directly into activity in neurons. Yes, that's why we observe, like, if we damage specific parts of the brain, very specific functions can be damaged. Yes.
Well, very specific functions can be damaged, but even with brain damage, people are still able to like live normal lives and make their own decisions. I mean, like.
Sure, I was just saying that's an indicator that neurons are responsible for our experience, basically. Because if we damage certain neurons, certain parts of our experiences are affected. Like, we can damage specific parts of the brain, and then you can't remember what nouns are, right? So. Okay,
but that still doesn't, like, just because you damage certain parts of your brain, that doesn't mean that we are beholden to, like, the neurons in our brain, and we are, like, there's, like, a cause and effect when it comes to, like, our thinking, with our determinate stance. Like, we are not determined. We are not beholden to the neurons in our brain and like the chemical reactions that are happening in our brain. Like, in spite of those chemical reactions and in spite of those synapses firing in like certain ways, we are still able to like overcome them. I mean, there's been multiple
my point here is that we are our brains, and that is evidenced by the fact that when you damage certain parts of the brain,
we all are brains, but the actions that we do are not determined by like any sort of like chemical reaction currently happening in our brain.
Every action that you do is a chemical reaction happening in your brain.
Every action. Okay. So let's say that you're like an extremely depressive state, right? So are you like only going to be in that extremely depressive state?
Yeah, only going to be in that extremely depressive state forever, but a lot of depression is caused by literal chemical imbalances in your brain.
You have the ability to go out of that state, right?
Sure, you have that ability to go out of that state. That is a possibility. That's just the only possibility.
Well. Would you admit that as well, that we have the ability to change our states?
You have the ability to change it, but you're not in control of that decision, is what I'm saying. It's not a free decision.
So
it's not a free decision. Yeah, you have not built your mind, right? Any action that you take to seemingly like change the state of your mind or whatever, you're only making that decision with the tools that have been given to you from the past, with your genetics and environment that have been given to you from the past. You're only capable of making a decision with those tools that all have series of prior causes, right? That's my point.
Hold on, someone joined. That's gonna completely fuck up my stream.
Yeah,
no, it doesn't. Okay. So you're saying that we have. So you think that we can only change our states of mind just because it's a cause set in motion by our like genetics in the past, essentially.
Basically, yeah, it's deterministic. It's deterministic whether or not we change our state of mind or whatever. Yeah,
it's deterministic. So if I was in a depressive state and then I suddenly, pick myself up in my bootstraps and become into a very happy state, according to you, that was inevitable to happen.
Well, what was the cause of that?
What was the cause of that? I guess, let's say, depressive state because my girlfriend broke up with me, right? And then I got over her and started working out in the gym more, and that got me to a happy state, you know?
Yeah, you see how all those, I would just say those are all deterministic. Those all point to my point of cause and effect, right? That these are all deterministic states,
yes, but
following one after another.
The individual actions that you make, like what about people who have broken up with their girlfriend and then they aren't sad? That's not cause and effect. They've like every single decision that you make, you make your decisions based off of your circumstances, but you're not beholden to your circumstances. If you get what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I get what you're trying to say. Yeah. I just disagree, because any decision that you make, fundamentally, it's going to be a deterministic decision, is what I'm saying. Obviously, like, you can make it, like, if my teacher tells me, hey, you should start hanging out with better friends, you know, I might make that decision, but that was a deterministic decision. I didn't have any control over the teacher telling me to say that, right? And when
no, but you had the decision, you had the conscious decision to choose whether or not you follow that teacher's advice.
Well, my point is the decision, the thought to even make the decision just appeared in my conscious experience because of the teacher told me. I didn't have any control over that.
Yes, but you didn't have any control about the teacher telling you that thought, but you had the conscious choice of deciding whether or not you would follow it or not. Like, you choose whether or not to follow something.
I'm just going to say that's obviously not a free decision. That's a deterministic decision. No, you're making that decision based off a long chain of prior events, right?
Look, we all have circumstances. We all have a past, right? We all have a history. But the decisions that we make in the now, while we can base them on our past, we are not necessarily beholden to our past.
Okay, so we can take two people with the exact same history, right? They both grew up poor. They both, you know, have brain damage to their prefrontal cortex, which makes them more likely to make bad decisions. They can both make different decisions. I'm not disagreeing with that. Obviously, people are able to overcome their circumstances. My point is, it's not the conscious actor's fault for either one of them that they made the decision that they made. That intentions and desires just basically arise in conscious experience. You're not the author of them, and then you're essentially beholden to those desires. It's purely deterministic.
They are the rock, and they are rolling down the hill, and they have no matter what they feel, no matter what they choose, no matter what they do, they are simply the rock rolling down the hill, and they will continue rolling down a hill no matter what.
I mean, they're behaving in a deterministic way. That's what I would say. They're not the author of their thoughts and actions. Correct.
Okay. You see, I just can't accept that. Like philosophically, I can't accept that. We're obviously, I can't really get into religion, but this is more of a secular argument.
Yeah, I mean, you can where could we see debate, so. Where could we see like where free will emerges? Would it be like from where would it be if not from the you're saying a philosophical world? Would it not be like from the physical world, or like do you think
the people that are taking a materialistic, people who are overly materialistic are the people that are usually hard determinists. That's what I say. People that are
well, but my point is going to be here, like any other philosophy other than materialism, is essentially it's going to like break conservation of energy. Is going to be my point.
You're saying it's going to break conservation of energy?
Yeah, conservation of energy. Again, our brain is like made of physical material. If we allowed like some non-physical soul or consciousness, if the mind causally interacted with energy, then energy would not be preserved. Because right now, atoms are behaving. And molecules are behaving in a certain way, in a deterministic way.
Think there's no way for us to be able to interact with like our mind to interact with the world with free will without breaking the laws of
without breaking the laws of physics. Yes, because they're all moving the way they should according to the laws of physics. They're all moving because of all the energy in the world that's already here. In order to make them move a different way, you'd have to create energy, essentially.
Mechanism in our brain at all. So we're no different than the animals, in which we just do we are the rock rolling down the hill. The animal eats the grass, the bird flies in the air. We're just like animals. Everything that we're doing is just already set in motion. A cause set in motion.
Well, I wouldn't see a reason why we're not like animals, considering our brains are very similar to a lot of animals. Obviously, we're more complex in a lot of ways, but yeah, I mean, we have the same fundamental brain structures. But like my point here is just going to be like any other philosophy other than like materialism, like any type of dualism, is going to break our known laws of physics. And I'm going to have way more faith in the laws of physics than I am going to have in any like philosophical circle jerking that I can do. So
hold on. I have a whole last document that I need to pull up here. Let's see here now. So you are talking about causation, and you really don't believe that humans being probabilistic is not a matter of causation, is not against determinism. I don't understand what your logic is there with humans being probabilistic not aligning with hard determinism.
Well, I mean, again, the prompt has nothing to do with hard determinism. My only position is that I don't believe in free will. Now, that aligns me pretty closely with a lot of hard determinists, but I would agree that quantum weirdness means that there is some probabilistic actions in the universe, right? We don't know if an electron of an atom is where exactly it is. We only know it has a 60% chance to be here and a 30% chance to be here. We don't know. We don't know exactly where it is.
Imply a sort of freeness to the universe that we never thought of before.
That implies a probabilistic,
not necessarily a cause and effect, because there's no cause and effect because it's probabilistic, because it's statistics.
Well, you're correct. There is no cause and effect for these quantum probabilistic movements. This is why quantum mechanics is weird, because it's probabilistic and not like deterministic. However, that does not give you free will, is my point. Again, the prompt has nothing to do with hard determinism. It simply has to do with whether or not we have free will. Whether I make a decision because of a series of prior events, or because an electron or an atom, I think entire atoms can quantum tunnel. I'm not entirely sure. Or because of the atom, quantum tunnel somewhere, and that releases some neurotransmitters into a synapse that then causes a chain of events in my brain to make a decision. That's no more free.
Okay, I think I understand what you're saying here. I would fundamentally disagree. I mean, I think the implication that there is a statistical freeness in the world shown by quantum mechanics, in which there's no way to sort of predict it, implies a sense of freeness, of free will in the world.
What are you saying for free will? What's your definition of free will?
Let's see here now. Definition of free will. I got the good old Google. The power of acting without constraint of necessity or fate. The ability to act at one's own discretion.
And you agree with that definition?
Me?
You?
No, North.
I would agree with that definition.
You would agree.
On the whole, yeah. The ability that we as humans have the ability to make decisions in spite of our circumstances, in spite of our, our genetics and our hormones and all that. We are able to make this. We are able to make decisions freely. We're not beholden to them.
Do you want to also dissect what you mean by freely? Because I understand that whenever anybody says the word free, they obviously have a concept within their mind. Okay. Now, free can mean
one's
pretty much
own will.
Okay, but that's just like saying a ball is a round circular object. Yes, but a little bit more. Try and narrow into it. Like, pick your brain a little bit. What do you mean when you say free? Because that's what all of this is about. When you're saying free will, like if your concept of free does not match that of non-fonts, obviously you guys are going to have a disagreement on the matter.
Well, here's a question to help us. If I'm walking in the park and a boulder comes rolling towards me and I don't want to be crushed by the boulder, so I step out of the way of the boulder, is that a free decision?
Is that a free decision? Well, you make the decision whether or not you want to be crushed by the boulder.
Was that a free decision? What I'm asking. It's obviously a decision. Is that a free decision?
And well, it is a free decision. Yes, you have the decision whether or not you want to be crushed by the boulder. There are people out there who probably would want to be crushed by the boulder. There's,
sure.
I mean, like they have the free decision whether or not to choose.
So, but my question is,
obviously, with our genetics. We are pre-programmed as humans to want to survive, right? So we are pre-programmed to want to step out of the way of the boulder. But in spite of that, we can choose to stay in the path of the boulder, or if, let's say, we're really depressed and we want to stay in the boulder, we have the choice to step away from the boulder. You know?
Okay, so why might you want to be crushed by the boulder? Let's just think of reasons why you might want to be crushed by the boulder.
Because someone is, like, I don't know, incredibly depressed, or they want to. I want to say words that are not.
So their desire to die,
GTA,
right?
Yeah,
their desire.
Playing League of Legends, and they lost the last 3 matches.
Their desire to die, because of that, is stronger than their pre-programmed desire to live. My point here is that we're essentially beholden to our desires. I may make the choice to move out of the way of the boulder, but that's because my desire to live is stronger than my desire to die. If I had a stronger desire to die, I probably would not move out of the way of the boulder. In either of these decisions, I'm beholden to my desires, which I can't really control. And then also, even if we did have some control,
you can't control our desires, is what you're saying.
Not really. And even if you can, to some extent, you have to desire to control it, right?
Okay, why?
And that desire to control it.
Why do you say that we cannot control our desires?
Because our brain is fundamentally wired in some ways to prefer, pleasure to pain. I'm always going to prefer gooning to hentai over having all of my toenails and fingernails ripped off.
Finally, a good take.
Well, somebody stabs me 50 times. That's always going to be a more preferable experience because of the way our brain is fundamentally wired.
There's people out there who have been able to condition themselves to be.
Sure, but they do that because they're beholden to their desires to condition themselves to do that.
But they have the conscious decision to be able to do that in spite of their biological desires.
That conscious decision was still beholden to their desires. Is the point I'm making? They're still beholden to their desire to do that for whatever reason.
So you're saying that
the only reason you ever do anything
that you make cannot shape your desires at all.
Any what? Sorry.
Any conscious decision that you make does not change your desires at all.
Conscious decisions can change desires, but the conscious decision to change your desires was made off of other desires. And there are probably some fundamental desires that we can't really control here. My point is that you can't control your desires.
That's just a loop that doesn't end.
Well, it's not a loop; it's a regress. A regress which leaves no room for free will. Is my point.
Sounds a bit like jerking off.
True.
Okay.
I always think that I can stop that shit, but turns out. Okay, right. So we've gone past the half-hour mark. Watsaku, I would like you to jump in right now and fuck shit up, okay? Holy shit, Twitch is giving... Oh shit, I thought... Lanius, thank you, brother, thank you. One of the 32 currently active. All right, so we've got a trivia question. Base, okay. And then we're going to go over to Watsaku. Thank you, Lanius. Of the 32... currently active National Hockey League teams, 6 of these teams are considered to be the original 6, the oldest teams in the NHL. Name as many of the original 6 teams as you can. It is fine if you can only name the cities, US and Canada, and not the actual team names. In the event of a tie for current correct amount of cities, boss can either award points evenly or ask the tiebreaker question. Okay, so go ahead. Non-Fon, you are going to be responding. So go ahead, Non-Fon, give it your best.
The Hurricanes. Carolina Hurricanes.
Base, that's one. That's all I know. Try. No, shut the fuck up. Try. You fucking idiot. Literally
the Seagulls. The Hawks, the Seagulls, the Tigers. The thunderstorms, the tornadoes.
Okay. I shouldn't have said that. Go ahead, North.
I do not know anything about hockey whatsoever. I used to play it when
literally just guess. Just guess. Oh shit, I have DMs. Okay.
The Bears. There's got to be a team called the Bears, right? Chicago.
I will shoot myself if there's a team called the Bears.
In a video in GTA, okay. All right.
GTA.
Okay, so Non-Fon. Wait, does Non-Fon? Wait, what the hell?
I said Hurricanes. That counts.
Hurricanes.
The Canes, North Carolina Canes, baby.
Wrong.
God fucking damn it.
Wrong. Idiot. Both of you. Okay, so here's the next question, because this is a tiebreaker. All right? The question. Neither of you deserve this. You're both fucking useless. But who won the Stanley Cup last season?
What the
Lightning
fuck is
McQueen.
Lightning McQueen from Non-Fon.
The Stanley Cup. What the fuck is that?
Nobody cares. Literally, just respond if you don't know.
Alexandrio Ocasio.
Okay, both of them are fucking useless, Lanius. I can't help this. Both of them are fucking useless. It is actually the Florida Panthers, you fucking retards, both of you. Okay, so no points to either side. They're too busy talking about pushing boulders and shit. Okay, here we go. Right. So, Watsaku, please give us your question for the debaters.
Question for both people.
Yes.
Okay. Without being able to prove the effectiveness or layout of a model that predicts human behavior, nor being able to prove the existence of free will within the world, how do both of you deal with the leap of faith that is required to believe in either of your asserted truths here today?
I don't think there's any leap of faith in my position. I'm not held to the burden of having a perfect model that can perfectly predict human behavior. The only burden I am held to is proving that human behavior is deterministic, and I believe we can prove that human behavior is mostly deterministic, barring any quantum weirdness, and that quantum weirdness does not give you free will, as I've already laid out. That's not a position I have the burden to.
Okay, before North responds, go ahead, judges. All add 1 point on for North, for non-fon. Sorry.
Yes, please give me.
No,
give
for non-fon, all of you are going to add 1 point each for non-fon, considering that he got something correct. I don't know exactly what, but Lannis is convinced that he said Chicago.
I said Chicago. I said Chicago.
I think North did say Chicago. I don't think I ever said
okay,
Chicago.
so it's North. Okay.
I said Chicago and New York because I don't know.
No, North one, he says. Teams. Oh, shit. Okay, so I'm the one who fucked up. Nuke the North. North gets... Okay, North. All right, North. Sorry, guys. Deduct from non-fon. Deduct from non-fon. It's going over to North. Okay, continue.
Jesus, go work for ABC.
North.
What the hell?
Shut the fuck up. Go on. Go ahead, North.
All right. I don't think there's a leap of faith with my argument because without free will existing in the world, like as a philosophical concept, any action that we have doesn't really have any meaning. You know, there's no, why should a criminal go to jail if that's like a cause set in motion, set like billions of years ago, that he couldn't have stopped. You know, it's philosophically and morally, our society needs to have free will in order to operate.
Okay, Watsaku, you got your responses. Judges, if you even have any fucking clue, as do I, what they just said, go ahead. You add and deduct points accordingly. Right, so take it away from where you were or continue on a different line of or trail of thought, as you wish. Unless you want me to ask a question, which I don't really recommend you do, because I am totally fucking lost unless we're talking about gooning. So go ahead. Non-fon, I think. Who ended? North ended the last one. Go ahead, non-fon.
I don't remember exactly where we were. We were...
Base, you see Lanius. The trio works.
Here's a here's a question for North. Do we think if a criminal has a brain tumor and it's in exactly the right place to explain their, let's say, like violent urges that cause them to murder somebody, do you think we should, what do you think should happen to them?
What do I think should happen to them?
Yeah.
There could be mitigating circumstances, obviously, but I don't think that takes away from the idea of free will in general.
Well, I'm saying, don't we think that if they have a brain tumor, like in their prefrontal cortex or in their amygdala, either like in their amygdala, like making them way more violent, or in their prefrontal cortex, which negates their ability to counteract decisions coming from other parts of the brain, do we feel like that has any implications on them maybe not acting freely?
Okay, so if a person with a brain tumor, right, they have a brain tumor in their prefrontal cortex and that causes them to act violently, and they don't act violently, do we just like give them a cookie because they didn't? Like,
Well, we don't send them to jail. Yeah, well, we give them more rights than people who did act violently.
Like just because just because you have a medical phenomenon that makes something more likely doesn't mean that it wouldn't have happened at all. If that makes any sense.
What if we can remove the tumor and be certain that they will not act this way again?
So, if you had let's say you had some poor kid from the inner city, right? Grew up, mom when he was a fetus, his mom was smoking crack already.
Based crack.
Yeah, mom was smoking crack. Crime-ridden family. Got punched as a kid and all that, and like abused as a kid. I know my arguments are amazing. They're completely on point. Do you think
punched in the face and did crack?
Punched in the face with while his mother was smoking crack.
Let's fucking go.
Say someone grows up with a very rough upbringing. Okay.
Sure.
Do you think that like because of that cause set in motion that completely mitigates any like future actions that they do, like let's say they shot up a school or something like that?
I don't know what you mean by
any actions.
I don't know what you mean by mitigate.
Cause set in motion. Like it's a cause set in motion. They didn't have any. If there's no free will, then that would have happened no matter what. So then why should we punish them?
You'd have to. What do you mean by mitigate?
By mitigate, I mean.
It's obviously a mitigating factor. I'm pretty sure even courts consider the upbringing as someone as a mitigating factor.
How about that? We let their actions be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. If there's no free will, then we shouldn't be punishing people at all, really, except to the extent that it prevents either them from behaving that way in the future or prevents other people.
Because everything's free will. If there's no free will, then it wouldn't prevent anything.
Well, sure, it can. Like, external factors affect how you behave, right? So punishing you for doing something bad is going to affect how you behave.
Any decision that you make is a decision. Like, we are simply a rock moving down the hill. I keep going back to. I love this metaphor. The rock moving down the hill. We are a cause set in motion happening already. So any actions that we attempt to do to try to mitigate things doesn't matter because it's going to happen inevitably.
Well, obviously it matters. Like changing the environment matters. If I put a wall in front of the rock, then the boulder can't go through the wall.
The environment, it just is. According to you, you're not changing the environment. It just is.
You absolutely are changing the environment. Taking someone who previously lived a normal life and throwing them in prison.
Free will doesn't exist, meaning that our decisions aren't real. It's just a cause set in motion. So there's no decision has any leniency because it's just going to happen inevitably.
I'm saying it's deterministic based on your environmental and genetic factors, barring any quantum weirdness. So obviously, changing the environment will affect how you behave. Obviously,
but
that is true.
So you're saying you can change the environment without free will? Is that what you're saying?
But yeah, obviously, changes in the environment happen all the time without free will. I don't think people have free will now. Yet, obviously, people's environments change, whether because of actions that they take or actions that other people take. Like, yeah, absolutely.
But taking an action is an expression of free will, is it not?
I don't believe it's inherently suggesting that it's free. No, I think you already agreed that animals don't have free will and animals take actions all the time. It's an expression of your wants and desires, which I don't believe you can control.
But I do believe you can control that. So I guess I don't think there's really a sort of impasse.
Well, yeah, I mean, the general point I was making here is like most people agree that I'm just making a general point here. It's that a lot of people like intuitively find that if someone has a brain tumor, that they are not acting freely. Obviously, this brain tumor is influencing their behavior. This is why a lot of times when we see people with brain tumors in a criminal justice system, we grant them some type of leniency. We usually treat them and try to let them free. Yeah, sure. My point is that this is just a case where we can like very clearly see the cause of human evil. We can very clearly see this tumor is here.
Would every single criminal have mitigating circumstances because of the cause set in motion that is completely outside of their control?
Well, this is basically my point. My point is that if we fully understood the brain of any criminal, it would be as exculpatory as a brain tumor. If we fully understood how the childhood made their prefrontal cortex underdeveloped, if we fully understood all of these things, all of their genetics and environment, we would realize that there was no way that they could have acted otherwise. That is my belief, yes.
You see, I fundamentally disagree because we've had so many circumstances, especially with like twin studies and all that, of people being in dramatically different circumstances, despite like similar upbringings and similar genetics and all that, and ending up in completely wildly different areas. I don't believe, as you would say, that that's due to some, like, it's inevitable that was going to happen. I think it was due to an action of free will, an action of decisions made consciously, I guess.
Well, I'm going to obviously fundamentally reject that the decisions that they made are free decisions. Obviously, decisions can change who you are. Those not free decisions. I don't believe that you're in control. And again, I've already like some things are chaotic, but chaotic systems are still deterministic. We can have chaotic systems where we can have very similar initial states, but the results are completely unpredictable. However, they are still entirely deterministic.
Let's I got a question for you. Do you believe that consciousness exists? If
obviously, yeah.
Free will doesn't exist. So why do you believe that? What would you define as consciousness?
I vaguely self-awareness. It's obviously a hard thing to define. I would say awareness of yourself, and there's probably going to be some aspect of like ability to perceive stimuli as well. Yeah, perceive and understand.
And you believe
stimuli.
that can exist within a hard determinist like worldview?
Well, consciousness is like the one thing that can't be an illusion because I have my own self-awareness. So even if I was a brain in a jar, I would still be conscious. It's just that everything around me would be quote unquote not real. But I would still be conscious.
So you believe that consciousness can exist in a hard determinist stance, but how does that fit in logically exactly? Like obviously you can prove to yourself that you exist consciously, but I can't prove that you exist consciously. So in a logical sense, how does consciousness fit into a hard determinist stance according to you? They don't believe consciousness can exist in a hard determinist stance.
Well, there's nothing about hard determinism, which again, I've already conceded I'm not a hard determinist. I just don't believe in free will.
Are two things that come hand in hand together.
Well, but obviously, do you think animals are conscious, at least some of them?
Do I think animals are conscious? Not really, no.
No, even a chimpanzee?
A chimpanzee? I don't think they're conscious like we're conscious.
Well, I don't think they're conscious like we're conscious, but I mean, I would say clearly they have very similar brain structures. They can react to stimuli like we can. They can recognize themselves in a mirror. Those are all evidence of like self-awareness and consciousness. Even fish can recognize themselves in mirrors. Like,
so you're saying that consciousness has been proved in your opinion with science?
Well, I agree. The only consciousness I can actually prove is mine. I can't actually prove that you're conscious. I can infer it based on how you act and see it's similar to the way I am, and your brain is similar to the way mine is. So we can kind of infer that you're probably also conscious. But I agree, I cannot prove that you are conscious. I cannot prove that animals are conscious, but we can definitely infer these things from my brain knowing that I'm conscious.
Here's a question.
Sorry, we can't prove it. Yeah.
Here's a question for me. Like, when it comes to science and what science can and can't prove, we all understand the way that science works is like presenting hypotheses and then like stacking evidence upon evidence in order to determine how much does this qualify in order to become a fact. And at some point it gets peer reviewed, yada, yada, yada. Now, wouldn't this follow the same trail of thought where you would observe certain things, you would have evidence in order to occur them? And as far as science is concerned, it doesn't necessarily speak on the matter of whether consciousness exists or doesn't exist because, well, it has to appeal to some type of like metaphysical aspect, but or like because we haven't discovered the entirety of the brain. But when it comes to, well, if consciousness exists within one, it must exist within all, no? Considering that they're pretty much equal.
It's kind of impossible to prove that somebody else is conscious. It like 100% prove, but I would say we can
But science, because that's why my question is, because when it comes to everything, science can't prove anything 100%. Like we understand that to be the case. Yeah. So I'm just saying, would this be separate from any other fact? If science could determine whether you, non-Fon, were conscious, wouldn't it then also assume that everybody else is conscious and have evidence, subsequent evidence, considering it can prove one, wouldn't it have enough evidence to prove that all would be conscious?
I mean, I agree. If we can prove that, like,
repeatable results.
Which, I mean, it seems like, I would agree. Obviously, science, I would say, the word prove is weird, but in this context, I would say proves that a lot of things are conscious.
Yeah, and we rule our lives based off of science to the most degree, so wouldn't that, like, again, when we're saying prove or whether something is factual or not, we are basing everything off science, so science would have said that, right? But
sure.
That's the, just to respond to that thing. Yeah, all right, just curious for myself. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you were. So we were on the point about, if animals are conscious, do they have free will?
Oh yeah, that's if animals are conscious.
And by the way,
animals are conscious. At least not in the way they're not introspective. They don't have like the introspective consciousness that we do.
But here's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Earlier you said, or would you say here? Would you say like animals are behaving in a deterministic way then, or something? That they don't have free will.
No.
Okay, why not?
Well, I guess that's proving. Well, we can't exactly prove that with consciousness. It's more of a matter of personal opinion. Like we can observe animal-human behavior, and certain animal-human behavior is unique for the individual animal. And I think animals can have shown that they can make their own decisions given certain circumstances, which I would say is an exercise of free will. But obviously, we can't communicate with an animal, so we can't exactly, know if they have actual consciousness or not. It's like obviously we can have this debate with each other because we're both humans, we're both able to communicate, but we can't really do that with, like, if you were just like observing like me, like making my lunch, and trying to figure out if I had free will or not. I don't think it would be as substantial as like a.
So some animals have free will some of the time.
I believe that animals have a semblance of free will, if that makes any sense.
A semblance of free will. Okay, judges, he changed the position. Okay, he amended his position. Okay, very respectable thing to do. But okay, just write that down.
Yeah, I'm doing the politician thing.
He did concede.
I'm like the media vere, or what's it called? I looked this up before. The Latin.
It was actually more of a
via media.
Yeah, he's so smart.
Yeah, I know. I speak Latin because I'm a prick.
Wow. Okay, the point I'm going to make here, we don't have a model that can perfectly predict even how the simplest of animals, like a fly, behaves, correct? So there's some chaotic things there, which is an argument you used earlier to apply to humans. And two, all the same quantum weirdness applies to animals' brains just as much as it does humans' brains. They're both made out of physical material with quantum weirdness. So with those two arguments, the quantum weirdness and the no model to perfectly predict their behavior, wouldn't those both equally apply to animals as they do to humans, as you used earlier in the debate?
Well, you are trying to relate, going back to your previous point with quantum weirdness being related to human with hard determinism. Basically saying that quantum probability dictates will dictate human behavior, because it's like even if quantum probability is in fact random, it will still dictate human behavior due to previous circumstances. And I will continually disagree with that.
My point here is simply that earlier, when talking about quantum weirdness, you said that the fact that there is some indeterministic things from quantum mechanics, that gives us a inherent freedom because these are inherently probabilistic. My point now is, would that not also give every animal, even worms and flies and squirrels, some inherent freedom because they are also inherently probabilistic in the same sense?
Okay. Yes.
So just for the chat and everybody, is that simply speaking to the matter non-fon that because this thing is occurring and they're included within the system, that rule would also apply to them? Is that
their brains, like animal brains, are also made out of neurons and atoms. So like the same quantum.
So there's no reason for us to assume that anything different was going on there.
Yeah, the same quantum mechanics apply to an animal's brain, just as the same type of quantum mechanics apply to semiconductors and everything else, because everything's made of atoms at the end of the day.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, North, go ahead.
Let's see here now. Going back to my lovely document. Let's see here now.
Trey, your question is coming up in about 5 minutes from now. But
let's see here now.
We can go straight to it if you want, North.
Yeah, let's go straight.
If you haven't. Okay, Trey, give us your question. And chat, you know what to do. Bits or channel points to interact with the debaters. Also,
chat, on my stream, you can use your bits so you can make Peter Griffin fart on my face.
Shut the fuck up. Nobody's doing that. Yeah.
Wait, so, can he fart on my face, though? I'll give you my
I don't know where he'll fart. It's just a fart overlay. We'll see where he farts.
Stingy bastards. Give me money. Okay, yeah. Okay, go ahead. Trey.
Make that money. You should follow.
All right, is it fine if my question's a little bit biased?
No, entirely.
What? Wait, no, that's supposed to be for at least somebody. Like, it needs to be, like, non-fun has to be able to answer it. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I have a question. Like, I get that obviously at the most fundamental level, universe is simple quantum particles smushing together, doing their thing, schmooving and grooving. But, what about the phenomenon of emergence, where all the time at every level of observable reality, scientifically, simple things become more complex over time. You only have 3 fundamental particles, make a gazillion atoms, make a gazillion molecules that form more and more complex systems, fusing in stars, all that. Life, animals adopt more and more complex behavior. Even if at the fundamental level things are simple, that doesn't preclude things when all that comes together from being complex.
Sure. So emergent complexity is obviously a documented thing. Obviously neurons themselves aren't conscious, but when a bunch of neurons come together, they can't make a conscious experience. Okay. The emergent properties though can't change the fundamental properties of each individual part. So if I have a brick made of a wall made of small bricks, that doesn't mean the entire wall is small. Just like a brain made of neurons, unconscious neurons, doesn't mean the entire brain is unconscious. However, if I have a brick made of red bricks, or a wall made of red bricks, and that, the big wall can't be not red. The downward causality there can't change the fundamental components of the brain. Neurons are still deterministic. Quantum mechanics is still probabilistic. Yeah, ants, when they come together, can form a functioning society. Obviously, they're way more emergently complex together than they are alone. But the ants
have created a functioning society.
Well, I'm just saying, if we have one ant, they can't do very much, and if we have a ton of ants, they can create a much more orderly society. I don't know what the proper word would be there, but the ants don't suddenly gain the ability to speak French, just like red bricks don't become green. And neurons don't become indeterministic.
They are able to speak.
French, that would honestly be my nightmare. We hate the French here.
Wait, what was that, Trey? Did you just say ants can speak? Yeah, they can.
They can. They do pheromones. They can communicate. Sure.
Yeah.
They're pretty fucking intelligent. Like, have you guys seen like the type of like cities that they fucking build? It's wild, bro.
Have you seen the movie Ants? In that movie.
Okay, I'm going to derail the conversation. All right, I retract that. Jesus, that's pretty wild. Ants are pretty dope, though. Okay, right. So we have a question. Oh shit! Go ahead.
My final point is just obviously emergent complexity, it can have some effects, but it doesn't make floating turtles. It doesn't make a causeless cause. Yeah.
So there is a little bit of wiggle room, but not
wiggle room for what? There's wiggle room for some properties that can emerge, but there's not wiggle rooms for the fundamental ways that either atoms or neurons behave. They don't have wiggle room there. It's just that the emergent stuff can add new properties.
Like you're saying that you can't create a system that's so complex that it can develop like its own freedom of like will. Like
well, it can never. I'm saying a deterministic system is never going to emerge indeterministic. It's not going to have an indeterministic downward causal effect on whatever's making it. That can't happen.
You're saying that there can be no top-down undeterministic thing happening?
I'm saying an emergent system, an emergent property can't have downward causality causing the fundamental components of it to be indeterministic. That's what I'm saying.
I think I need like a Google Paint document open and then we can like map this out.
All right, until you do that. Right. Okay, so trivia question. And this one's going over to fucking North, considering that Non-Fon answered previously fast. Okay. North. What is the genre of music Max Rebo is famous for playing in Jabba's palace? Come on, space nerds. Fuck, I shouldn't have said that. You fucking nerds. There you go.
Space jazz.
What?
Space jazz. That's the genre I'm doing. Walking in.
Okay, and wrong, loser. Fucking better luck next time. Absolute.
That's highly unfortunate.
Go ahead, Non-Fon.
What's the quote? Repeat it. Which genre of music?
What? Okay, you know Jabba's palace where it's like da 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 da.
Oh, Space Cantina. Space Cantina, right? Something like that.
Genre of music Max Rebo is famous for playing in Jabba's palace.
Space Cantina, I think is what it's called.
Wrong. Kill me. Fucking loser. Again, you guys are just bad at this. You guys are just awful at this. Okay, next question. Does Non-Fon or either debaters believe we are living in a simulation? Go ahead, Non-Fon.
I don't have a strong position on it. I would lean towards no, but I don't have a super ground. That's just an intuition. I don't have like a super grounded out reason for not believing it. But either way, we don't have free will.
I like how he slipped that one in there.
Do we live in a simulation? If we are in a simulation, we would never be able to know. If we're not in a simulation, it doesn't matter. So.
Well, how the fuck can we potentially live in a simulation, yet you're so convinced that free will exists?
Wait, sorry, say that again?
If you're so convinced that free will exists, that you're here debating it, but yet you're saying that it's potentially possible that we do live in a simulation, wouldn't
you say, wouldn't a simulation negate the idea of having free will? So let's say you created an AI technology, right? And the AI technology was able to achieve a level of thought similar to humans, and was able to express itself like outside of its original programming. You know, would you say that is a thing without free will? Like if you copied a human brain on a computer. And,
no, I was just trying to get you into a gotcha. Don't worry about it. But you're answering Non-Fon. Don't worry about it. Okay, right. Good response though. He caught up to us, chat. He caught up to us. Okay.
I know my brain is usually like 5 ticks behind, but
yeah. Okay. Next question.
I need some coffee. That's what.
Does consciousness originate? I love to see this, guys. I love seeing this. Good job, chat. Keep coming with the subscriptions. We like this. Give me bits. I like money. Congratulations. Okay, question to North. Does consciousness, but first to North and then to Non-Fon. Oh wait, is it the other way? I can't remember. Does consciousness originate in the brain, or does the brain sense it?
As in like from the soul?
I don't know. That seems like an open-ended question.
Okay. I think free will is something from the brain, but who we are as a person, I think that's a good way to describe the soul, like who we are as a person. So I don't think we get our freedom of will from a soul, if you can even call it that.
Okay. Fair enough. Go ahead, non-fun.
Yeah, I think we have every reason to believe that all of our subjective experience comes from our brain. If, that seems to be the organ responsible for consciousness. If we remove our brain, suddenly humans aren't so good at walking and talking anymore. Yeah, we can damage very specific parts of it and see different effects on the brain. If we damage the optical parts of it, you can't fucking see anymore. If you damage the language capacity part of it, you can't fucking speak anymore. That's why strokes have different effects on different people depending on where they happen. All of which I think point to the conscious experience coming from the brain. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Right. By the way, judges, you are adding and subtracting points for their answers on this. Okay, so just letting you guys know. All right. Okay. So, question from Bert Stein. Well, it's actually from Lanny.
Bert Stein, let's go. What's up, Bert Stein?
Do you agree? This is for North. Okay, go ahead, North, with your amazing ring light. Do you agree that a divine argument for free will does not necessarily break thermodynamics, given that it could imply transfer of energy from a different location as opposed to creation or destruction of it?
When you're dealing with anything divine, you're talking about something extra worldly. So you're trying to apply.
How would you even go about understanding divine? Like there is no. It seems like subjective.
To apply a worldly equation, a worldly viewpoint to something that is extra worldly. So it's like two fundamentally like impossible things to like be compatible with each other.
Do we think, could God make 2 + 2 = 5? Is that within God's power?
I mean, if God is all powerful, then yes.
Okay.
We also have a question from Kay, I think, unless I'm getting that wrong. I see my DMs. He's not very happy with me. I've done something again. Jesus Christ. Okay.
2 = 5, literally 1984.
True.
Okay, so unless Kay has a question for us, again, chat, you can ask timed questions now. We are coming to the end of the debate. Chatters, go ahead and give us your closing statements.
You mean debaters?
What did I say? Chatters? Did I call you chatters?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so non-fun. Unless you guys have anything else you want to challenge each other on, I feel like you.
No, I think we're
pretty
good.
much right. Yeah. Okay.
I think, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Non-fun. Go ahead and give us your closing statement.
Yeah, I think I proved all my points pretty well. I don't think North refuted much of my points. It seems like the only point that North refuted, you just said like, quantum mechanics would mean that we have some inherent amount of free will, and as I expressed, that does not follow at all. You are no more control of quantum randomness than you are anything deterministic. He also conceded that would mean that animals have free will. Yeah, I think I've been held to some weird standards where people claim that I have to have a model that would perfectly predict human behavior. I think that's totally a total fallacy. That I think they basically conceded as much because they didn't apply the same logic to the animals. Yeah, I didn't hear any great arguments for free will on his side. I only heard me refuting those two, I think. Yeah.
Based, absolutely come dumpstered North there. Heard from Non-Fon himself, absolutely destroyed him. So go ahead, North. Salvage
Holy
anything
shit,
that's
what
left.
A shit show of a debate this has been.
This is best moderated, best organized, and hosted
True.
debate.
Show,
Don't
I
you
think
fucking
my
dare.
performance on this
Look, you
debate
guys
was a
have
complete
your own
shit show.
fucking timers and shit. Let's go.
My prep for this debate was lackluster to say the least. I don't believe that a hard deterministic standpoint can exist in a society. It fundamentally it is incompatible with how we humans exist and how we humans need to be able to see the world. My opponent over here, which is to say that just because there is cause and effect, that nothing that we do in this universe has any sort of meaning. I would fundamentally disagree with that. I believe that there is meaning in human action because there has to be a meaning in human action. Otherwise, there's no reason for any sort of existence whatsoever.
Can I pull a Trump? I have to respond to that.
Oh,
yeah, I never claimed to be a hard determinist. I never claimed to be a hard determinist. The prompt has nothing to do about hard determinism. That it's totally great that it keeps mentioning that, because considering I never claimed to be one, and the prompt has nothing to do with it. And second, even his closing statement, he resorted again to the implications into not having free will. If we don't have free will, then everything is meaningless. That has nothing to do. That does not refute at all whether or not we descriptively have free will. It does not matter at all. Both of those things that he mentioned in his closing statement are completely irrelevant. Okay, anyway.
Guess what? We're going to pull the Uno reverse, because unlike ABC, I'm actually based. So, North, you are going to have the final word. Because Kamala didn't. Because Kamala didn't.
Because Kamala didn't.
This is for Kamala.
I think this proves
I love you, Queen. Let's go.
This proves that Ryan is called Kamala.
Hey, judges. Yeah. Quiet. Go ahead, North. Yeah.
Let's see here now. I mean, you can claim all your hocus pocus word nonsense, but
dunked on. Dunked on. Holy shit. Okay, based. Thank you very much, debaters. Yeah. We are now going to go over to our judges. Right, judges.
I'm not looking forward to this.
Give me 2 seconds, guys. We need.
All right, I guess I start punching the numbers.
Yeah. Guys, start adding the numbers.
Use the restroom, and then I will add the numbers. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Damn.
Jerk it a little bit.
Add them while you're shitting, dude.
Also, you guys need to add the bonus points. So there's 2 points that you need to add on to whoever you feel represented their overall position in this debate the best. So that can go over to non-fon or to North subsequently. You guys get to decide, either of which. So go ahead and add the numbers up while I get this set up.
Boss, I have some music for you to play if you're open to it.
I am looking right now for music.
I'll send it to you. It's in your DMs.
I don't know if you guys saw, but midway through my stream, I put up the words "I'm so fucked" on the on the stream. I don't know if it's going to be banned on Twitch or not, but
they don't care about that. There's some dumb things they care about, but North, have you ever spoken to PPG?
PPG?
Do you know who he is?
PPG? What do you mean by PPG?
That's Bimmy.
Yeah, Bimmy.
Bimmy?
Do you know Bimmy?
Bimmy,
maybe.
Bimmy is a
He doesn't know him. Non-fun.
Yeah, okay. Just avoid. He's a banned streamer, so you can't talk to him on Twitch.
Oh no, I'm not gonna.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Oh right, this is the guy that you guys keep talking about, the banned streamer dude. What did he do?
Peed on the floor.
He's done a lot of things, but recently, he got another streamer banned. And,
he did that too. Turbo got banned because he streamed with him. Yep.
Yeah.
Is there somewhere I should
floor, as in, like, he took out like the full willy and the peed on the floor, or was it just like the implication of like the piss,
it was like off camera.
Off the floor. Okay.
What was the judge asking? Somebody was asking something. A judge said something. I don't know which judge. Yeah.
Do I like submit my points? What do I do with them?
Oh no! Just add them up, and I'm trying to create an atmosphere here and like get the chat to actually subscribe and give me money. In the meantime, so I'm making them suffer right now and wait. Yeah. So just give me 2 minutes, guys.
You're 60.
I see.
Wait, that's not the music. Jesus
Christ! About? It's perfect.
No, the music I've got going on now. This is.
Imagine having music. Not fun. It's texting right now. Imagine being on your phone right
now.
No,
I'm setting up my lights.
You're setting up you have your lights hooked up to your phone? That's kind of like...
Yeah. Wild.
Oh.
Fuck! I can't find it. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, here we go.
I don't know how to...
I found it, chat. I found it. How do you make things loop?
On what?
You talking about video? You talking about video?
On YouTube,
Yeah,
you right click and hit
add
link.
media source into the setting.
Easy.
Oh, okay.
Easy. I figured this shit out
Damn.
by myself. Let's fucking go. This is amazing.
Perhaps he
Okay.
had the free will to figure it out for himself. Who knows?
True.
No. According to non-fun, it would have figured it out.
was
all on
always-
its own. It had no free
everything
It was
will.
always-
meant to happen.
you were always going to
everything
figure
was
it
meant
out.
to happen.
So
Okay.
you should feel bad about yourself because
It's actually like it's like
would
the same
happen
thing
all-
as like
it
when
would
people
happen
say God
inevitably.
have a plan. I'm basically saying the same thing. Like God had a plan. Oh, it was always going to happen. Yeah.
Okay, so chat, the way this is going to work going forward is I'm supposed to have this set up and the timers here are going to get removed and then we're going to add them on, but we don't really have that right now. So we're going to go as we are. Right, so I am going to call each judge. We're going to start off with non-Fonz judge, that is K. Then we're going to give it over to Trey. And then last but not least, Watsaku. So K, whenever you're ready, come in here and give us the score.
Hey, please be lenient. I'm begging you. Please don't kill me.
28 non-fun, 14 for North.
Oh God.
Wait, do you 28 and 13?
Okay, so that's 1-0. All right, Trey.
I
When you're
got
ready.
the exact same score. I got 28 for non-fun and 13 for North. Not 14, 13. So I guess one off. That's still pretty damn close.
Wow. Okay, so non-fun is our winner.
Always going to happen.
That is our winner, but
Yeah, according to you, it would be deterministic of it.
chat.
This did feel like a pretty
This is-
predetermined outcome. Not gonna.
What Sako is about to tell us whether non-fun walks away with nothing. But I mean, he is the winner. But is it a unanimous decision? Has he won by unanimous decision? Chat, here you go. Here you go, chat. You know how this goes,
I have all my
chat.
hands and knees,
Your
please. I'm begging
voice
you.
matters, chat.
Please.
Okay?
I'm
So here we
begging you.
go. Here's a poll, chat. While we're
On my
waiting.
hands and knees, please.
Who won? All right, here we go. This is non-fun, and then we've got North. Okay, go ahead and vote, chat. Go ahead and vote until we have the
I'm
unanimous
begging, I'm
decision.
literally begging. I will.
Has he been slam dunked? Let's
I'll
find out.
make an apple pie. I will get out my apple pie. I'll give it to you guys. I'll give it to you guys, chat. If you just vote for me, I'm bribing you
apple
with food,
pie?
please. Yeah.
Oh
I
no,
got 2 slices of apple pie left.
Chat's vote is just to see how well we're judging the judges.
Did
That's
you
what
enable the
chat is
bribery on
supposed
the,
to do.
on the vote, by the way? Because I think that you have that.
It didn't work. You even lost your own judge. You suck, North. Okay, Watsaku. Here we go. Watsaku, you are about to tell us whether non-fun won by unanimous decision. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second.
How do I check who clipped me? My OBS says I got clipped, but I don't know by who.
Okay, so
Because you're showing thigh right now, that's probably why they did it.
all right, Watsaku.
Yeah.
When you're ready,
They're gooning
tell
to me,
us.
obviously.
Give us your score, starting with non-fun first, and then last but not least, North. So go ahead, give us non-fun's score.
I currently have non-fun sitting at 22.
22. Okay, here we go. And North?
North, I have sitting at 12.
Oh, let's go. Okay. Congratulations, non-fun. You have won by unanimous decision.
And I have Hunculus sitting at 10 for getting the Max Rebo question correct. Well
Wait,
done,
how-
Hunculus.
How did Jesse?
Congratulations.
Oh, sorry, I don't
Let's
wanna-
fucking go. Unanimous decision for non-fun. He's done it again.
Wait. Can you give like 5 more points to Hunkulus just so he beats North? Because that'd be really funny.
Yeah. Jesus. Hunkulus is the winner. Jesus Christ. Congratulations, non-fun. Again, I just want to thank you all. Thank you, debaters. Thank you, judges. You participated in good effort. Thank you to myself for being amazing.
Boss, can I use this as a plug real quick?
You're all going to plug yourselves, so go ahead. I'm going to go for a cigarette.
That guy is North. That's what I'm going to say.
It's yes, I'm the boss is the only place these guys are going. Thank you very much. Okay, go ahead and plug yourselves, guys, while I roll a cigarette.
Hello, I am the Ferris Judge in OK Life over here. If you want to see more of these guys, I will be inviting both non-Fawn, fuck you by the way, and North, also fuck you, onto my panel, so that way we could do a post-game look at what happened here, have a conversation without the blood sports, and see what went wrong, and if there's any conversations that could have been
basically
missed
stealing
during the
my
debate.
content. He's stealing my content, chat. K is shameless, but I respect the effort. I respect the grind. Let's go.
I have someone else I have to talk to first, but yeah, I'll join, I guess.
Yeah, you guys are boosting K's
Even though
ego.
non-funds are going to join you, I will join you because I consider your feelings.
You guys are boosting K's ego. Holy shit.
Totally.
All right, judges, go and lay it on them. Tell these motherfuckers what they've done, correct or wrong, or sum it up for the chat and for everybody else involved. Oh shit, what did chat? Wait, chat's still voting.
Wait.
Chat is still voting.
Please,
oh my god. What the fuck?
What happened?
North, I'm not gonna lie. I voted for myself, and you still destroyed me in the chat poll. I think.
Jesus Christ, chat! Chat is mentally retarded. Chat has always been retarded. I don't know what chat. Chat is on some another level of degeneration.
I tried to rig it, and I couldn't. I still couldn't pull it out. Yeah, damn.
Shit, bro. I haven't even voted, but
coming into this. Go ahead. Immediately, right off the bat, it seemed like non-Fawn had a level of preparation that North didn't tend to have.
Yeah, okay, this is chats.
North, I will drive to your house and eat it.
North, I don't understand what was going on in your mind in which you thought you could walk into a debate on free will, not having kind of a cohesive and worldview coming into it.
Here.
Felt like you were kind of grasping at straws here. There's like an appeal to the human experience that you can certainly make when it comes to something like this, and I was disappointed that you didn't really make it there. I don't have any experience with you, so I don't understand like what your normal style is, how you normally come into these kinds of things, but it did leave a bad impression. I was very impressed with non-Fawn. He was able very well to lay out what he believes. He was able to properly dodge the question that I put out there. Well, both of you were.
I didn't dodge it. I answered that.
No, you both did, and that's okay. It's a good thing. It's literally a hurdle to be jumped over, that question. If you got yourself trapped in the framework of believing that there is an ounce of faith put into these kinds of things, that immediately brings into doubt your entire argument. And both of you were able to properly jump over that hurdle without having to even look at it. So good for both of you on that one. But well done, non-Fawn. You adhered to what you believed, and you continued to espouse it the entire way through.
I want the people's court. That's all that matters.
That was your biggest strength. The people are retarded. That is all. Thank you.
Trey, I just I'm noticing your scoring. You put my name as bowl cut.
I don't know your name, man. What is your name?
Yeah, I mean, it's non-Fawn. You could have just written non-Fawn, like, you know.
I feel like
you didn't have to.
That was pretty good. The Justin Bieber.
You didn't have to put. You didn't have to put vocal. You didn't have to do me like that.
That was pretty good. Trey, give us where they went wrong.
All right. I mean, I think there's a very clear preparation difference right here. I saw that Bull Cuts opener was very well rehearsed.
What an funny chat. I didn't even. I had less.
Not as much.
I had less than a data prep.
I think both people and their closers kind of dipped into bad faith. North especially.
I literally posted on my Instagram story. I don't want to
silliness.
show
I'm
them,
also
but I posted
very
have to raw dog a
disappointed that
debate
North
tomorrow
didn't
because I was
know that Star
gaming
Wars
good
music
instead
is
of
called
reading and
jizz.
researching.
Yeah.
Since, you know, him and I talk about
that-
jizz
is that
all
the
the time
Damn.
together.
Very disappointing, actually.
So, you know.
It is
Also,
what it
can
is.
I plug myself too? You know, since I've worked so
You don't
hard.
even- you don't
Yeah,
even
you're the fucking
upload on your
judge.
channel
Yeah,
anymore.
fuck these debaters,
Dude, I didn't
guys.
even-
Yeah, you
Yeah.
judges
I should have
need to
prepped.
plug
I should have
themselves.
prepped.
Go
I was
ahead,
gonna, I was
judges.
worried. I
Give
should have
yourself
prepped
a
more.
shout
Lakeside
out.
Trey, all one word. Just type in the YouTube search
I don't want to just
bar.
brag about
I'll
it to
pop
them,
up.
but I'll show
Yeah,
you
don't
after. I
forget
literally
chat, by the way.
20 hours ago
Subscribe,
posted my
you
Instagram
dirty
story.
bastards.
I didn't know prep for
Okay,
this.
go ahead.
Follow me on
Everybody, everybody knows Kay. Everybody,
Hey,
all right,
yeah.
yeah. Go ahead, Kay.
So, in my experience, I have only seen one debate that has
told
gone
you,
this
you've-
poorly, and it was Turbo. And I was actually rooting for him to kick your ass. I thought it would be a humbling experience, and you absolutely graped him on stage. So, like, you know, with North, I have no clue why you came into the stage today. Actually, you
Yeah,
are like
what
someone
were you
that's cooked
thinking?
macaroni their whole fucking life, and then went on to Top Chef.
Yo.
I don't know what
Yeah.
the fuck. This is some raw shit. You don't know how to cook. I don't know why you did this, but you can learn.
Okay,
Right?
you know
No,
what?
no, shut
you have to start.
I'm judging right now. You shut.
You have to start somewhere. All right.
All right.
True, very true,
All right.
very true,
So,
North. Very
I
true.
don't know why
You'll
you
get
came
there.
into
You'll
this.
get there.
I don't know why you came into this thinking.
You're making some
oh,
great
this-
thumbnail faces right now, North.
Hopefully, this is a humbling experience for you. Non-Fon is a bastard. All right, he comes
got
in
himself
with he comes in with a lot of research, and he talks fast. He does the Ben Shapiro approach. All right, I wouldn't want to
What?
battle him on this. He even had the advantage because I feel just personally, it's harder to prove free will than disprove it.
What is
you know,
happening to his camera?
But yeah, so good job, Non-Fon. I expected this from you. You know, despite the voice cracks, you still like absolutely came out as the
Wow,
manly
wow.
Chad here. But North, I don't know why you did this to yourself. I hope that it's humbled you, and yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Hold on.
Well, Bert Stein followed you.
He's trying to get his point across. Look at this. He's
Yeah.
being silenced.
North, I
He's
appreciate you
sure-
making really good thumbnail faces when you were muted.
He's not even silenced right now.
Well, he's not anymore, but
Yeah,
when he was
I'm not
deafened,
anymore, but I
he
need
made
some
some great
principle
thumbnail
behind it.
faces.
Somebody
Yeah.
muted him. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, debaters
Somebody, hold
and
on.
judges. Thank
Yeah,
you very much for
it's a wonder.
participating, guys. Much
Real quick,
appreciated.
if you don't mind, I'd like to shout out my my Twitch.
You all shout yourselves out, all of you. Go ahead, man.
More than welcome to follow me on twitch.tv/whatsapp.
Wait, what are you saying?
Okay, I'm sorry.
You son of a bitch.
Asshole.
You
Got him.
absolute fucking troglodyte.
Sorry. Say it again. Say it again. No, I won't do it. I swear.
No, you will. It's okay.
I gave you my word. I won't do it. Go.
Go ahead,
Your word is
WhatsApp.
your
I'm
bond.
the boss here. I will mute. Okay, I will mute him if he does it.
Much-
Don't worry
much
about it. Go ahead.
appreciated. Thank you, gamer. You can follow me on twitch.tv/Watsaku, WATSAKU. Most of the time, we're going over politics in the beginning, then a lot of gaming later. Much love. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Fuck you.
Yeah, true. Best call out ever. Right, is that everybody? That should be everybody.
Well,
Right,
hold on.
once
I gotta
again-
make some thumbnail faces real quick. I just want to say, North, you are generally a good debater, okay? And I really appreciated the conversation we had after the presidential debate. That was the only conversation I had that was like actually about policy. Every other dumb fuck just debates stupid ass dumb Trump shit with me. That was a really good conversation. I think you'll get to Twitch affiliate very fast. I wish you success. And, okay, that's mine.
All right, I appreciate
That's mine. Yeah.
Base, much appreciated. Yeah,
You gotta stretch your face in order to get the good Twitch stuff.
Yeah.
So, like,
If you got we need some advice here. These are cringe advice tips. This is really cringe at this point. Okay, right. If you both weren't such fucking nerds, chat might like you. But it seems like chat has decided that North was the winner. So don't know what's going on there. Chat seems
I
pretty
wanted the mind of the people.
pretty stupid like usual. Jesus Christ. Bowl cut is unhinged. I don't know who called somebody who bowl cut. Who's
Who
that?
called me? Why did everyone call me bowl cut? I'm gonna get a haircut now. I'm gonna
Okay,
buzz
right.
cut.
All right, the rest of you, get the fuck out of here. Do whatever you want to do. We're gonna stick around. And,
Thanks, boss. I appreciate it. Fire. Where's Sample? Bert Stein's in a waiting room, but he's deafened. What's up?
Yo, what's up? Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Look, I'll tell you. Look, you won, right? But in my book, you did a 6 out of 10 job. Maybe that guy did lower.
Okay.
You should do like a 9 out of 10. Okay. The way you do that is by being meaner, right? You suffer from Econoboy syndrome. Okay, you're too nice, too nice, too nice. The way you win.
I like Econoboy. Come on.
And Econoboy could win more debate.
Dude, the Econoboy Demon Mama conversation is the funniest shit ever.
Oh yeah, because he's like, because that's like, the debate was already won before it started. That was not a debate. That was like a documentary, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but it was terrible. Like, it's not a debate. There was no way Demon Mama could win. So that's why it had the vibe of like, I don't know, like bringing some physicists to talk to flat earthers. It's like, oh, well, obviously. But no, actually, speaking of flat earthers, if you want to know how, I don't know, I consider myself a top tier debater, okay? But the way you win debates is by being mean and aggressive and on to the point. And there are some things you could have done which would have like propelled you even to win harder, okay? For example, and it's rhetoric. On research, you may have been like, on research and stuff, you're like at least 8 out of 10. Okay, on rhetoric,
one of what's funny, I didn't even, you can look at what I posted in general. I posted like on my Instagram story last night, I have to raw dog a debate tomorrow because I was gaming and gooting instead of research and reading. I've obviously read into free will a bit, but like I didn't even prepare as much as I wanted to, but yeah.
I get it. So in this debate, you were at a 10 out of research, but maybe the research you did was like 5 out of 10. Like, look, so if you bring up, like, imagine I bring up in a debate against you 10 different arguments, but I only know the level 1 argument, I don't know any responses to counter responses. Then like it would look like I did a lot of my research if you don't respond adequately. Okay.
Sure.
Well, and that's the thing you need to point out. I can bring up like 5 arguments against you. If you only respond to 1, I need to point that out. Okay. I cannot just like go on and debate with you this one argument. I brought fucking 5. Okay. I should reinforce all 5. So what you should have done in the debate is like you should have been like, oh, here are like 3 arguments, right? You gave the brains, like, you know, act before you decide and whatever. I didn't read these studies, but I got your point. Right. You brought that. You brought the Alex O'Connor reasoning. You brought the conservation of energy, and I think that's it, right? But he only responded kind of to conservation of energy in the worst way possible. By the way, you should have after you respond, and you should make your responses quippy and mean. I think, but you should also reinforce. Hey, by the way, I gave you 3 arguments. You only responded to 1. Right? I mean, if any one of these succeeds, you're blown the fuck out. So you need to respond to all. Right? It's like, hey, I'm not gish galloping. I just gave you 3 popular arguments. It's not like I'm, derailing you. I just started 3 arguments. I was able to fit it. It's my, right. It's not gish galloping. You need to also understand how to counteract people saying, oh, you're gish galloping if you bring up more than 1 point. But yeah, so that's something you 100% needed to do. Just be meaner and point out you're dodging because you're scared and retarded. That's what you. Yeah, all right. Regardless if it's someone you like, that guy, he seems very nice. He seems very smart. Okay, I have a friend. He looks like him and he talks like him and he has the same positions as him. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, he's also very cool. Right, but so that guy seemed very cool, very nice. I don't hate him. I'm just saying, regardless of who I debate, even if I were to, like, I know some people that I'm very good friends with, and when I debated them on Discord, I'm ruthless, okay? If you want to know how to, like, debate ruthlessly, you should watch Dave Farina, although he's a Hamas supporter on Twitter, but he got banned. The guy's crazy. But on his YouTube channel, he's okay. He debated, like, flat earthers and, all the anti-evolution people and whatnot. And he's brutal. He begins with a presentation, which just shows the arguments. It's very layman friendly and it's very clear. And he starts by being very consistent. I don't know how to describe it, but there's like a way to do introductions, which is just brutal. Okay, it's like, let's say I'm debating some flat earthers. Okay, and free will is the flat earth equivalent of philosophy. Okay, but I should be like, look, if the Earth was flat, when we all look up, we would see the stars turn the same way, counterclockwise or clockwise, but never 2 different directions. But we do see them in 2 different directions. You need to explain that, right? I'd like be very aggressive in the beginning, and then move to another argument and show it in my presentation, and then another argument, and all be very aggressive. And then once I'm done, well, first of all, okay, when I bring up arguments in the opening, okay, and then the opponent does their opening, okay, well, maybe they will not respond to all my arguments in their opening because they have their opening statement. They don't need to. But at least after that, they need to at some point respond. So, in like after, I don't know, 20 minutes, you should bring up, hey, by the way, I brought 3 arguments. You're only on one of them, and you're not doing a good job. You need to do a good job on all 3. So you're like massively failing. Like I need to be very aggressive. That's how I do debates. I usually win. So just crush him.
What was the guy's last name? How do you spell it?
Dave. His name is Professor Div Explained.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know this guy.
Yeah. He does a lot of flat Earth stuff and whatnot, and he's very condescending, very like mean. But I like it. Everyone thinks he wins. He never lost any debate ever. He's a very good debater because he brings up the presentations and he's mean. Sometimes he's like too cocky. Sometimes he's like, yeah, I'm correct. Yeah. And it's like, okay, whatever, you're retarded. But no, he's, at least introductions wise, he's awesome. So that's that. Second, I mean, you should have done more prep, but that guy. Also, another thing is you need to respond adequately to retarded points when they're brought up, okay? So when he's like, again, the guy seems nice and intelligent, but he said some dumb shit, okay? When the fact that brains can go from depressed to happy, right, doesn't mean that, like,
doesn't mean anything. I don't know.
Prove the fact that like your actions are not like the downstream from your brain, right? Like it's like saying what would you call it? If it's like I can have a deterministic game, okay? Like imagine, I don't know, like a self-playing Pac-Man, okay? It's like, oh, it went from eating all the points to not. Oh, I'm sorry, it went from not eating all the points to eating all the points. Oh, the game must not be deterministic. It's like, no, it just changed. Things can change and be deterministic. You don't need to be in the same state forever. It's called change. Yeah, so that was incredibly awful in my opinion. And he didn't respond to that adequately. Sorry, he didn't. Another thing.
Wow.
Which is a symptom of Econoboy syndrome. Okay, it's a symptom. Yeah. So Econoboy, he has like all the knowledge, but he's like very not mean. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice, and he needs to be meaner, and not the nice mean, not like, oh my god, I'm fake angry. No, be angry, be mean, eat them for lunch. That needs to be happening all the time. You need to make fun of it. You need to be like, oh, you don't even know what a syllogism is. Oh my god, I need to explain to you basic logic. Like, no, that's of course too extreme. I'm obviously joking, but you get the point. I'm very much hyperbolic, but you get the point. Be mean. Very much valuable. Yeah. What else? I mean, I'm thinking. I mean, another thing is you need to point out the fallacies, which is kind of part of being mean, but it's not just mean for the sake of mean. It's mean for the sake of rhetoric. So rhetoric needs to also be brought up with like substance. So if he's saying something like, I'm just making something up, he would never say this. But if he said something like, oh, we need to believe in free will because it would have good consequences for society, you should point out, oh wait, like aggressively, and you kind of did, but you also should have done it harder. It's like, oh, that's just an appeal to like ad populum. Okay, it's an argument to ad populum.
Did you hear? You heard my closing statement, right? I feel like my response to his closing statement, where I was debating whether or not I should do this, where I did bring up like, hey, you know, he said 2 things in the closing statement. One, the hard determinism thing.
Oh yeah. You made amazing points in the debate. You made like, oh, also, yeah, when you get over that, actually, you reminded me. So you brought up great points in the debate, right? I'm not saying you failed. I think you did like 7 out of 10, right? This is how you get to 10 out of 10. Okay, when you get a win, you need to savor it. You need to absolutely abuse it. You need to you are the predator, they're the prey. Okay, that's my philosophy. And when you get a win, you enjoy the win. It's like, so when the guy says, "I don't believe animals are conscious," you don't just stop there, right? You get the most out of it. So you're like, oh, and you kind of went there. You kind of like, oh, even monkeys, and then he said no, and then it's like, you need to go further. You need to, oh, do you even believe in evolution? Where do you think where do you think our brains came from? Oh, suddenly free will came up very conveniently only when it's you. Yeah. Very convenient. Like, you need to be very mean. You need to drill down. You need to, like squeezing an onion. Okay. Oh, I'm retarded. Squeezing a lemon. Okay, not an onion. I don't know if you can squeeze onions. Squeezing an onion. You need to all the sourness. Okay. Be mean. Be evil. Yeah. That's like that, right? Yeah, so when they say batshit insane, you need to point out, oh, chat, this guy's batshit insane. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to expose him. And not to be mean, not because you hate the guy, but just because you love to win. And I love to win, okay? I'm competitive. And I'm evil. And I'm Jewish. So all three combined. No, delete that. No. But yeah.
Dude, I got the one judge gave me -2 for bad faith claim, no refuting.
Oh, the other judge. Don't get me started on the judge that was like, "Oh, you cannot prove your claims are 100 billion%." Therefore,
that was the boss, but yeah.
Yeah, the leap of faith. Well, it's not a leap of faith, motherfucker. Oh, let's say I was debating if my Discord name is Sample Text. Is it possible that I'm on shrooms and hallucinating everything? Yeah, maybe. Oh, so the argument is not 100% proved. Your case is undermined. Leap of faith. It's
also,
leap
he
of
gave
faith.
me.
No.
By the way, he gave me -1 for saying philosophical circle jerking, even though
It's 1,000,000,000% justified. 1,000,000,000,000. It's another thing. You need to make your points as aggressively as possible. When you're saying you didn't make the energy conservation point as well as you could, you should have been like,
Sure.
"Oh, look, we have two atoms, okay, and they move. All that determines their movement probably is like basically just like conservation of energy and conservation of momentum. Okay, these two things basically determine how when they collide, how they move. And there are chemical interactions. There's a weak and strong nuclear force, whatever, blah blah. But all of these is deterministic. In no physicist equation will you find the free will constant. Okay, they're all deterministic. Okay, all of them are deterministic. All they have is force, energy, momentum, blah blah blah. But never free will units. Okay, never. Okay, and so we look at two atoms and we can predict their movement. And obviously, physicists are not retards. Okay, if it was a more useful model to like put free will in, they would have done it, but it doesn't. And so we have two atoms. We had 3. Still works. 4 still works. 5 still works. The only reason why we cannot predict all of human society and behavior is because the systems are chaotic and we don't have all information, right?
Yeah.
But theoretically, if you begin with things, everything follows, or at least there is no free will that influences any of the equations that govern them. Okay, and then you build up and up and up, and we get to the macro level. And so you need to reinforce. Like when you make the argument, it's like a sandwich, but every part of the sandwich you need to reinforce. Like, and this is backed up by physics. It's not just philosophy. It's physics. Physicists are not dumb. Next layer, this is physics. They're not dumb. Next layer, physicists. It's just boom, 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 and then you have a. It's not even a sandwich. It's just bricks at this point because it's so hardly reinforced. Okay. Yes, that's that. And yeah, and then if your debater is also, if the guy you're debating is also mean, then that's the fun, that's the most fun. Okay, but they never are. They either are just like insanely unhinged, like people who scream at you, and that's mean for the sake of mean or mean for the sake of stupid. But if they're also like mean for the sake of substance or rhetoric, then oh my god, you are in danger. Yeah, I would never want to be the prey, so I need to be the predator. That's my philosophy. I've done a lot of debates. Feels like it works. Okay, that's my. Take it or leave it. Rhetoric. That's
All
it.
right.
There are two
I'll
two dimensions to debate. It's substance and rhetoric.
Yeah,
You need to do better on rhetoric.
Yeah. Listen, I'm still.
Yeah, no hate. I'm very obviously it's not my debate type is not for everyone, but I will beat everyone. Okay. Yeah, and the judges are retarded. Okay, I don't understand how someone can say, "Oh, you can approve it."
No, I'm not rocking a Mac.
They asked him that too.
Good night, Birdstein. Thank you again. Thanks for stopping by.
You cannot prove
Thanks for
that we're not in a simulation, so your case is completely unjustified. It's like. He didn't respond well to that either, right? What I would respond is, no, obviously that's retarded, right? We're in a court of law. I can make the argument very comprehensively that Jeffrey Dahmer killed and cannibalized people, right?
Yeah.
But still, we may be I may be hallucinating all of reality, okay? And in that case, he didn't do that, but it's like not reasonable. And beyond reasonable doubt, I proved my case here, and same in court. Okay, that's what you should do. Retarded people. Only retarded people believe in certainty. Okay. Only.
Are you in the boss's server?
No, I can be. It sounds like fun.
Well, I mean that's where everything just was. They're all in the panel still. You could yell at them about it as well if you wanted
to. I may. Can I join their shit?
I believe so.
Oh man.
You can definitely join the server. I don't know if you immediately have
even
terms.
do some debates. It sounds fun. want to debate like a tanky.
Oh, you can. Actually, you don't. Well, I don't know. There's you could debate the political understander.
I don't know what that is.
The guy debated on the wealth taxes, the American politics understander, PPG Bimmy.
Oh, that's the same guy.
Yeah, he
I'm not. I already talked to him with you, right? Remember, and he muted me.
Yeah, that was funny, but he couldn't mute you in an actual debate.
I forgot. We explained to him something very basic.
It was something about. It was like the U.S. oligarchy study. We were trying to explain, like R squared.
Right. He doesn't know what an R squared is. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also can't read, but yeah, he just watches.
And he pees a lot. I figured.
Yeah, it's really funny watching like opening his stream.
Have to raw dog a debate tomorrow because I was gaming and gooning instead of reading and researching. Terrible. I made look because also I never just the way I goon is by doing research. I'm research sexual. Okay, I read a study and I goon to this double efficiency. Epic.
Wow.
Truly epic.
I wish I could be really as efficient.
That way I really raw dog a debate. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I goon daring debates, bro. That's what I do, man.
That's right. But yeah.
Well, I gotta. I guess I'm gonna join their panel for a little bit, but I have to like.
How do I join their shit?
Well, I think I can send you an invite through the boss's server.
No, I'm good. I'm good. 4 a.m. I want to sleep.
No, you're good. Yeah. I'll join it for a bit, and then I just have to. I got a bunch of Piers
Look,
Morgan.
We can do a practice debate, okay? You can do it. We can do a practice debate. Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay, you can give me a topic, and we will debate each other, and I'll show you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you see Rob Noor and Andrew Wilson debating whether women should have the right to vote?
No, what?
I didn't watch the full thing or anything, but it was.
Okay, so Rob Wilson said they should.
Yeah, Rob Noor says that they should be able to, and Andrew Wilson and Andrew Wilson's wife as well.
I hate that guy. Let me guess, he philosophized everything there.
I didn't watch most of it. I popped into the live stream at like 2 points. I just saw because I was like, who is arguing for what here? And I saw Rob Noor's arguing for it. Yeah.
Oh my God. Let me guess. He was like, oh, you think children shouldn't vote, right? So
it was like, oh, female brain messed up, and also at one point his wife joined and was like, women are responsible for all the government overreach.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, okay, I guess, dude.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's retarded. That's really bad. I don't like cons. I think all cons are evil, but some of them are better than others. And Wilson is terrible. Terrible, I'm telling you, terrible.
Also, I got -3 bad faith for saying Lightning McQueen to who won the Stanley Cup, okay?
What the fuck was that question? It's so retarded. It's so weird.
Yeah, they do trivia questions.
Yeah, well, that's not -3 for a retarded brainlet question? Oh, okay. It should be less than 1 point as to not affect the results, I think.
What did Lightning McQueen actually win? Was it the Pixie Cup in the movie? I think it was the Pixie Cup.
I don't know. I hate Cars. It's dog shit.
Dude, Cars 2 is goated.
No.
The Piston Cup is what he won. I was close enough.
I'm a motor.
That's such a dumb -3 bad faith. Is that bad faith? I just don't know the answer. I literally don't. I have no clue. Do you want me to take a legitimate guess? It might fucking be Lightning McQueen, dude. That's how unsure I am.
Yeah, but you should have guessed Chicago. You should have won. You should have gone the North strategies, like Chicago, Boston, Miami.
Yeah, I guess I could have done
San Francisco. Just go name big cities and hope for the best. Because they said only name them. They didn't say you get points detracted if you name a wrong city.
Yeah.
Just say yeah. But yeah, I don't know. We can debate a topic. It's a practice debate. Okay, I'll show you how it's done.
Yeah, show me how to get rid of it. Did you do the same thing with Econo Boy? Did you get rid of his syndrome?
If I were to debate Econo Boy, I would if I was correct, Econo Boy knows way more than me, so he can stump me way easier on the knowledge. But the more you have of knowledge, you should also utilize it, and that's where rhetoric comes in. You squeeze every last drop of a W you can get. So when someone says something as unhinged and absurd as animals are not conscious, then you need to make them remember this for years to come. They need to like have flashbacks like 3 years from now of, oh my god, I actually said this. Oh my god, I cannot. They need to be traumatized because you need to win. You need to win. You're there to win, not to have a fun time. If you were to have a fun time, you would goon. No, when we debate, we win. We debate to win. Like, you bet your ass Trump is gonna have nightmares from that debate 3 years from now. Okay, yeah, because Kamala did really good job. She traumatized him. She could have done even better. Could have made him cry. She should have made him cry because she wants to win. Yeah, that's my position. But yeah. That's
so I should. Okay.
Bully. You need to bully. You need to. I don't know. Life doesn't treat anyone well. Okay, so you need to recollect all the times life treated you poorly, and take it out on other people. That's how you win.
Okay, yeah. I'll work on it. Yep, we'll try to be meaner. I don't know if I have any debates coming up. I still have to set up a time with Micah to do a.
I'll just think about it.
I don't know if I ever told you, Micah did agree to do a fucking podcast episode on worker co-ops, so I'm going to set that up sometime.
With you? On your stream, on Three Wongs?
On my stream.
Okay, nice. Epic.
Yeah.
No, epic. Hey, when you talk... Okay, let's psyop Micah, okay? I'm going to psyop Micah. When I talked to Micah like 2 weeks ago, I asked him, did you read his blog post on worker co-ops or market socialism?
Yeah, I'm gonna use that. It's gonna be like, I just want to like interview him about it. It's gonna be. I think I'm gonna use that as basically a guide of like what the questions I should ask in order. Like, co-ops sound good, but like, what's this like allocative efficiency thing?
Good. Okay, so no. When I read, so he had that. He wrote that the co-op mania thing. Right? That's what you read.
I think it was like the problems with market socialism. I think.
Yeah. And he called it part 1. Okay.
Yeah, and
he doesn't where's part two? Right? He said like part 2. So when I asked him like 2 weeks ago, I asked him like, "Where's part 2, my guy? You said part 1. It was fire. Where's part 2? I'm hyped." Okay, and he was like, "Oh, well, I kind of already said everything that there was to say in part 1, but maybe I'll write part 2 about like sovereign wealth fund socialism, right? Quote unquote socialism." And I'm expecting that. So I want to sign up Micah. When you talk to him, just be like, maybe before the stream, maybe after the stream, or during the stream. I just ask him randomly. Don't mention me. Just say, "Oh, by the way, I read your co-op mania thing. Well, you said it's part 1. Where's part 2?" Okay, you just make him think that's like something everyone wants. Okay, and he'll do it. Okay, psyop him. You need to psyop. Again, before I'm an internet debate person, I'm Jewish. Okay, I'm Israeli, and we do psyops. We did your 9/11s, right? We did your JFK.
Yeah, you did it. You did it.
Yeah, and we got away with it. So I'm trying another thing. Okay, we'll get it. Obviously, I disavow. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. No. Yeah. The people dancing, fake Israelis. Fake. No, I need to stop. I need to stop using Twitter.
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh yeah, there's a ton of 9/11 conspiracies on Twitter as well.
Oh my god, there's so much Nazi slop on Twitter. It's terrible. I cannot use the app. I open it and I see like Nazi slop on my Twitter. It's terrible. It's horrible. And I see like homophobic stuff, and I see like
and all the Haitian immigrant stuff too. Is just
aside from Republican insanity, I see like fucking people, just the most unhinged shit. Like make fun of gay and lesbian people. It's like so insane. It's so insane. So unhinged. Yeah.
I saw one video of a Haitian immigrant in Haiti. And not an immigrant. It's just a native Haitian. Presumably in Haiti. I don't know. No, not the dirt cookie stuff. It was just of her like frying something. I don't even know for sure if it was in Haiti. And they were like, "What is she frying?" Implying it's a cat. And like one, I have no clue if it even is a cat. But two, like even if it is, like brother, have you seen factory farms in America? Like I'm not even like full vegan.
Oh,
but, like
100%.
brothers, it's
all
really
the people who are like, "Oh my god, the fucking cats! They're eating their cats." All these people like post the other day, "My bajillion trillion meat with eggs and yolk." It's like, oh, the way to start the morning. They're fucking hypocrites. Oh, terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, I mean, no, swear to God. Yeah, there's this vegan account. About it's like I can find it. It's from 2 years ago, but they're already popping off today. It's a parody account, but it's like we have a dog farm, like it's like a dog meat farm, and it's like they parody all the like normal beef farms, where it's like, oh, our dog, and like we're a family business and we treat our dogs with love, and it's like an ad, and you see a dog, and then it's like meat, and it's like really funny. It's really funny, it really reinforces the point. But yeah, that's how you. So that's like a good sign. And then they have people rage at them. It's like, what? You eat dogs? It's like, no, we treat them. They give the same arguments every day. It's like, no, we kill them humanely, and it's like it's a small business and the economy. It's like they just give normal. It's so obviously hypocritical to not be vegan. It's like, oh, if I did that to a dog, you'd lose your shit. But I'm doing it to a cow, and you're totally fine with it. It's just because they're cute. It's because they're cute and you feel comfortable. It's so obvious, so glaringly obvious. And it's not because they have the specific DNA that you lucked into having. It's not because it's just because they're cute. That's why you don't kill dogs. Okay, that's so obvious. But yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
I'll talk to you later. I'm tired.
Yeah, I gotta farm some Piers Morgan reaction.
There are two dimensions to debate: substance and rhetoric. Maybe when you debate retards, you don't need to think about it that much because they'll just implode. Right? So when you debate someone like what's his name?
North.
No, not North. He was
PPG.
He seems like actually in good faith. Yeah, the Egyptian guy we debated like 3 months ago.
Minar.
Yeah, that's right.
Minar is now a banned streamer, so I don't debate him as much anymore. But you're right. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, but something like that. So then you don't need to think of all the, you don't need to know the dialogue tree 10 levels deep into every branch, and you don't need to like max out your rhetoric. Although maxing out your rhetoric does help when you're debating like unhinged people. But you don't need to do all the research. But the rhetoric is very important. Okay, so less voice cracks, less and more humiliation. No, I'm joking. I don't. It's not your. It's not your
Damn. Okay, I see how it is. Okay, damn. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. When I said you should be meaner, I meant it. We're debating right now, not fun. Surprise debate, and you lost 12 times already. No.
Damn. Okay. All because of
the voice. You don't fight back. You're just like okay. No insulting me. No like. You're literally whatever. Okay.
You're literally.
Yeah. Anti-Semitism. I'm expecting it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I can do.
Because I'm perfect. Because I'm maxed out on all the stats.
It's just like anything, like I say, with the anti-Semitism stuff is going to look bad for me. It's just like I guess I can say you're support. Yeah. You're literally in an apartheid state right now.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Oh, you're winning. Wow, what an own. What an own, dude. You see, I took your insult and I made it a W. That's what you need to do. You need to humiliate. Yeah. No, I saw the guy in front of my eyes say, "Animals are not conscious." Right? Like when my dog looked at me, there's just meat. There's no happiness in what I'm looking at. When a deer gets slaughtered, they don't feel pain. There's no pain there. It's like it's like my pencil. It's like if I break my pencil, the pencil doesn't cry. The deer just whatever. That's unhinged, and you should make him humiliated over that. There are 1,000,001 ways to debunk that. That being said, you did a really good job pointing out the hypocrisy on the animals and humans.
Oh yeah.
That was a great job. That was a great job. They just like, oh, you think animals are deterministic, and then he takes a minute. No. Oh, you are retarded. Yeah, that's epic. I thought that was epic. I thought that was a top moment, top highlight. But yeah,
that's going in the intro. Yep.
Yo, here's an argument. Okay, maybe you can debate free trade. That'd be epic. I'll take the protectionist side because I'm reading a book right now about it. Don't read the book to counter me with like already. Okay, maybe we could. But no. It's just like, how would you argue against this point? Okay, what's the equation for GDP?
Me. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Consumption, investment, net exports, and government spending. Net imports, net exports, government spending. Yeah.
Oh, net exports, right? Yeah, net export and net government.
Net export, right. Yeah. Net exports is import. Yeah. Okay,
yeah. Consumption, investment, government spending, minus imports plus exports. And well, okay, well, minus imports, right? That means the more we import, the less our GDP, right? It hurts our economy. Therefore, and we need to export more. That's an argument for protectionism, right? Import less, export more manufacturing jobs, higher GDP, right? What's wrong with that argument?
Oh fuck. I would just say there'd be more consumer surplus in the alternative. I wouldn't really. I would say that's just how mine's trying to look at it. Yeah.
But also,
we would lose a lot of consumer surplus, and then also like there are inputs that we trade that then have other.
But also so there are. So you should really read the book. You should really read What's Wrong with Protectionism. It's a great book. Okay, and it's also laid out just like here's the argument, here's it laid out, and then 5 pages of us debunking that argument. It's just very nice to read. It's very nice. It's all the talking points. It's like, oh, the trade deficit. They lay out the argument, then 5 pages debunking it. Oh, trade increases prices or it doesn't lower prices. Oh, here's the argument. 5 pages debunking it. Just like a very methodical book, very nice book, and they reinforce points. So one of the points they reinforce, and that's a very important thing when you're debating evil protectionists. It's just that it's like saying, oh well, if I look at your net income equation, right, it's gonna be all your earnings minus your expenses. So for you to be more prosperous, you need to work more and buy less of what you want. Right, there is some truth to that, right? But it's not like you work not for the sake of working, right? Income means nothing if it doesn't buy you what you want, right?
Yeah.
So the same way that you don't work for the sake of work. No one likes working just to work, right? Except for some freaks, right? It's just you do that to buy the stuff you want. So the same way, exporting for the sake of exporting is just working overtime for no reason.
I don't really follow the stock market or anything.
You wanna buy the stuff you want, right? I don't want to go Austrian because I hate Austrians, but you do an action with the goal in mind of getting what you want, and the imports represent that. Also, the minus imports part, it's not like its own autonomous thing. It's like a corrective thing to the consumption part. I didn't get to that part yet, but they make the argument that the minus imports, it's not like it's more like an accounting thing where it's like, oh, you need to subtract it from the consumption thing. So it's not like its own autonomous part.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not sure I'm 100% correct on that. I need to read that book and I need to read that chapter and then get back to you. But yeah, no, it's a great it's a great book. It's pretty short too. You should check it out. What's Wrong with Protectionism?
Yeah, that would be. I think I offered to do free trade debates, but no one would do it except for Bimmy, and Bimmy is now. Not only is Bimmy has been banned, but he now has gotten other streamers banned for being on their stream. So I think Twitch is paying more attention.
Isn't he also bald or something?
He is also bald.
Yes, that's like total L, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although apparently I have a bowl cut, so we got to get that fixed. I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, get Rizzy with it.
Dude, I've been to 2 barbers and I said get rid of the bowl cut, and neither of them did it. Okay, so I think it's an intrinsic property. Okay, to me, I think it's.
I kind of have a bowl cut around. I need to a haircut badly. Terrible. Not presentable. Shouldn't go up. I went out today. I bought some vegan sushi. And everyone made fun of me. They said, "Oh, freak, get a haircut." No one said that.
Wow.
No one cares about haircuts. Okay, people make fun of your looks when they lose. You need to point that out. You need to be aggressive. You're like, oh, that's because you have no argument. You need to, yeah. Destiny does it pretty well. The only downside to Destiny is that he's retarded. So sometimes he's he's just incorrect on the facts, or he doesn't have the knowledge. So when he whenever economics comes up, even though I agree with him on a lot.
Yeah.
Of the conclusions, he's just has a fucked up thought process for economics, so I just don't. Or veganism. Oh my god, both of them he's wrong.
Yeah.
On rhetoric, he's wrong for veganism. He's just always. He always does this thing when you give him a slam dunk argument. He's like, "Oh, what? I don't even know what the question. Oh, my, they're so absurd." It's he does this thing where he throws his head back and squeezes it. It's
it's the demon mama thing.
Demon mama thing. And it's terrible. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop killing and abusing and raping animals. It's wrong. Damn it, it's wrong. But yeah, that's my take. That's my 2 shtick. Well, 2 shtick. Wow. 2 shekels. Okay, 2 shekels.
Whoa.
I'm retarded. Just be meaner. Okay, we need more hate.
Okay, get rid of the economy syndrome. Okay, we will do it.
That's right.
We're working it.
Yeah, be sure. Okay, talk to you later. It was always
talk to you later.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
between me and Kay. That was the first one. And it was in relation to thick versus superficial women. That was pretty wild.
I know, I'm fun.
What's up,
Hi.
man? Fun.
We need to put
Have you come to squabble in your glory? In your victory?
I don't know. You told me you wanted me here. I gotta react to some stupid shit so I can get YouTube views, but I'm here for a little bit.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Goddamn, bro. I feel like I may have went a little too hard on North because he ended stream and he left. He left.
Oh no! Oh no!
So we're gonna have to. If anybody knows North, if you could do like a little, checkup on him, that like that wellness check that they have on social media, and then do that first, and then if he doesn't answer that, somebody get some cops. I do too.
He seems like a really like low key, like really like mid chill guy. He seems like he's a bit of fun. He can take a bit of humor, a bit of banter, and he can laugh at himself a little bit. But I feel like there's a little bit like people will look at him and think like, okay, this guy is like gonna blast us with some absolute factual knowledge, but turns out that he's pretty mid when it comes to the things he thinks.
Damn.
Mid is not an insult.
If I popped back in, if I popped back into stream and was like, hey, let me check back up on them, just see how they're doing. Maybe things have blown over. And I heard that. Yeah, I would have been immediately driving to the local bridge. Like if I just came back in and I heard that, like I would be Googling like tutorials on YouTube. Like
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I've probably said this to him to his face before. So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, guys, not everybody can be a fucking genius, right? That's just the reality. You got to work with what you have in life. Yeah. I'm definitely not one to judge. I don't know about intelligence wise, but when it comes to being uneducated as fuck, I pretty much top the ranks between all of you because I've never really fucking opened a book in my life. But yeah, I mean, if
with
you
modern technology, you don't have to just
exactly.
Just listen to like audio or YouTube videos.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. A lot of that. It's just whenever you say to somebody, "I've never read a book in my life," it's kind of like, yeah, okay, this guy's a dumb fuck. Which, to a certain extent, like I know a lot of like random shit about a lot of stuff, but not really like in-depth analysis. I guess I don't really think there's anything I can point to think.
I don't
unless
like
it's like social issues. Social issues I can deal with, yeah. Politics, not really. Yeah, I try to. I'm interested in it, but
reading
like, as you can see, like even when it comes to like the electoral college, like I get that shit fucked up all the time. It's crazy how that fucking works.
All right, Legate's in here. You want a round 2 improvised? All right, Legate, I'm challenging you right now to an improvised debate deathmatch.
Let's go. Lanius has been challenged. Let's fucking go.
What? I'm getting challenged now?
You have been challenged.
What's the topic?
Oh, this has been coming for a while, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Women.
Right? It's going to be about why socialism, right? Or is actually more American than capitalism.
Socialism is more American. Wow. Holy shit.
I am not getting baited into that fucking debate. That's for sure.
I didn't think you would.
I've tried to challenge. I've been tiptoeing around it a little bit, but I've challenged Legate to think about this a few times. You did say you were going to chew on it a bit and get back to me, and you haven't yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still chewing on that.
Lanius
does this all the time. He does it. He likes to take he'll take an idea and then he'll
run with it.
He'll massage like all these American values and ideas into it to make you think that it's more American than the way that you think it is.
I mean, after all, if you feel
I don't mean that in a bad way. Like it's creative. So
yeah,
I mean, you needed people to vote for ideas somehow, right?
Yeah, true. In the marketplace.
All right, don't care. Okay. Gotta get my YouTube views, all right? So we're gonna work our way through these. God, I wish my Wi-Fi wasn't fucked. I don't know what's wrong with it. I might have to call I have to call fucking the ISP and be like, hey, shit fucked, dude. God, I've not been on top of my game, okay, for reaction content. I'm behind 3 days ago. God damn. All right. The entire political charade has come crashing down. Eric Weinstein in U.S. election. Weinstein.
It is absolutely spot on, the switch. So let me get, first of all, your take on how you think the switch has gone.
Well,
I think it's gone well so far.
My take on it was to talk to geriatric neurologists and try to figure out where President Biden was in his neurodegeneration. And it's been fairly clear to people in the medical field that he's suffering classic signs of neurodegeneration and Parkinson's. So in
Parkinson's?
Sense,
really?
like it wasn't so much a bizarre prediction as the self-silencing, if you will, of the entire medical community that was cued into what was going on. And the fact that nobody's even talking about the fact that we have an executive branch that appears to be in full self-driving mode, controlled
the deep state,
from where we do not know.
Controlled by the deep
state.
There are 3
nuclear footballs. One travels with the president, one with the vice president, and one with the designated survivor at times. I have no idea what the plan is for the 6 or 7 minute window that you would have as commander-in-chief. So I think it's going terribly.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. We're just not asking questions. And what's more, the Democratic Party, my party, is silencing the very questions we should be asking because none of us know what is running the country. And given that we're in a half proxy war with our main thermonuclear rival, it is completely unforgivable that the American people would not be consulted as to what is happening in the executive branch.
Yeah, it's so bizarre that we see endless pictures of Joe Biden on the beach, but he's still president of the United States.
Oh my
and yet
God.
You've got Kamala Harris, who now is the nominee. He's stepped aside, but he wasn't fit to be the nominee for an election in November.
He wasn't a good candidate. It wasn't that he wasn't fit. It was he wasn't a good candidate. People just didn't like him because he seemed old. I mean, obviously he is old, but
it's just it doesn't make any logical sense. What I've been assured privately is that there is a team running the White House far better than Joe Biden, and that I'm supposed to be elated because of the high competency.
The deep state. Deep state wins again.
Now, these are levels of self-deception and self-justification that I just can't participate in. But what's fascinating is that this is what I've called an anti-interesting event. The media is absolutely pathologically uninterested in the idea that we're in a half war with Russia, and we don't know who the commander-in-chief is at a functional level given the tiny window that we.
I mean, after that debate, the media did shit on Biden pretty hard, to be fair. But I don't know why you would cover this, instead of any like Kamala's campaigning or Trump's campaigning. I feel like that's at least going to get more eyes on it than just being like, oh, he's at the beach, who's the president with it, he's at the beach.
Might have if nuclear weapons were used.
Right, and the reality is we saw what Biden was like at 9 p.m. Eastern on that debate stage. If the nuclear call comes at midnight, 2 a.m., 4 a.m., it's as you say, a 6-7 minute window. Does anybody seriously think that Joe Biden at that time of night is going to be in any cognitive condition to make a call of that magnitude? I don't.
Well, this is the interesting part. Every branch of the decision tree, if you decide that it is Biden in charge, that's terrifying. If you decide that it isn't Biden in charge, that's equally terrifying in a totally different way. If you think about the fact that the press isn't all over this rudderless situation.
If it would be like I mean, if Biden wasn't qualified to be Kamala Harris, right? Is that really, because he said the nuclear football goes along with the vice president too? But
that's
I would assume, like, worst comes to worst, it'd probably just be a military general that makes the decision. I don't really see how that's equally terrifying. But
terrifying. So I think that the key response is to just go along with whatever this is. Now, keep in mind that since the end of May, when Donald Trump was convicted of felony counts, we've had a disastrous debate, an assassination attempt, something like a palace coup, a rudderless executive branch. Nothing about this election cycle is in any way normal. And within essentially a week or maybe 8 days of each other, there were attempts to remove both Donald Trump and Joe Biden from the electoral process.
Right. Quite extraordinary. I want to play a clip that I know has exercised you enormously. It's of California Governor Gavin Newsom reacting to the switch.
Let's do it.
How are you feeling about the switch? I mean, the switch. Now, we went through a very open process and a very inclusive process. It was bottom up. I don't know if you know that. Yes, that's what I've been told to say. Yes.
And you responded to this by saying, I think this is the most directly I've ever been lied to by a politician. It's a lie preceded by a confession. I've never seen that. I mean, it really was. It was like the whole secret game laid bare in literally one long sentence.
Well, it's very
Wait, what did he say? We went through an open process.
It was bottom up. I don't know if you know that. Yes, that's what I've been told to say.
Bottom up.
And Gavin Newsom
Switch. Now we went through a very open process, and a very inclusive process. It was bottom up. I don't know if you know that.
It seems like he was joking in that first part, but okay.
I've ever been lied to by a politician. It's a lie preceded by a confession. I've never seen that. I mean, it really was. It was like the whole secret game laid bare in literally one long sentence.
Well, it's very similar to when Gavin Newsom cleaned up San Francisco because Xi was expected for dinner. You know, the entire political charade has come crashing down. Nobody can believe anything that is being said, and so that's your cue that that's not what the game is anymore. It's not a question of getting people to believe. It's these are instructions that you're being sent as to what you are supposed to act as if you believe. Right? You're supposed to act as if you believe that there was an inclusive process that took one of the least beloved politicians of all time, Kamala Harris, and elevated her to America's sweetheart. Within the space of a few hours. I just don't understand how rational people who are supposed to be our doctors, our accountants, our engineers who build bridges that don't collapse, how anybody who can solve a partial differential equation is supposed to go along with this, I have no clue. Because you have to understand that technical people, it's not personal. There's just right and there's wrong. And everything about this is so completely wrong from first principles that I would say that what we're doing is we're telling everyone with an IQ over 85, you're unwelcome as part of the electorate because you're simply not going to be able to hold the illusion.
It's completely true. And there was a willful deceit.
Can we make it only under 25's vote?
Period of time around Joe Biden's actual condition, which was then laid bare with that debate. Where there was
under 20 or under Jesus fucking Christ, I said it horrible. Under 85 IQ vote. Jesus. Sorry.
I think it carried on about who was responsible for Biden standing aside. He once was told it was his decision in the end, etc. But we know from
well the donors pushed him out.
Nancy Pelosi basically went to him and said, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way, but you're out." Cut to the DNC convention, and there's the same Nancy Pelosi with her "I love Joe" placard, looking quite shamefaced, it must be said. And then you cut to George Clooney, who wrote the op-ed piece which precipitated the knives plunging into Biden's back, now wanting us to believe that he's the greatest president in terms of courage since George Washington. This kind of
they wanted him out because he wasn't a good candidate, and they didn't think he was going to win again. That doesn't preclude them thinking he was a really good president. That those two do not preclude each other at all. But okay.
By the people who executed Biden's political career, I think it's just as willful in its quality of deceit as the ridiculous farce about his health to start with.
Well, when Joe Pesci gets invited into the middle of a cornfield for a meeting, he knows it's probably not going to go well. I think that you can only do weekend at Biden's for so long. This has been a progressing neurodegenerative condition for 4 years. He has not been, in my opinion, fit for office during the entire length of his presidency. And if you check my old tweets, you'll see that I'm talking constantly about the fact that he's simply not in good shape. Now, Donald Trump is, I will also point out, 78 years old. He is, in my opinion, far too old for the most demanding job that we have in times of war. And quite frankly, we normalized all this with Dianne Feinstein. There's something about these silent and boomer generation politicians that do not understand.
This is kind of normalized now.
Grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And so they sit there as if they're going to go on forever. And
even the Supreme Court justices fucking, they have life appointments at least, but they die in office too.
Hold office as well. This has just gotten to a point where it's an embarrassment, and we have to realize that we need to pass the baton to different generations.
I mean, George Washington, he won 2 terms and would have won a third very easily, but he decided to stand aside because he felt there should be term limits, and the rest is history. Do you think there should be age limit? Should there be an age limit now on who is president of the United States? There is at the bottom end. Should there be at the top end?
There would have to be a constitutional amendment, right?
Like the demands on an airplane pilot. But I think more important than the rules is that there was a time when people understood what these duties were and how important they were. And I commend everyone to watch Neville Chamberlain's resignation speech, which was the ultimate flipped bird to Herr Hitler in Germany, because the idea was that Hitler was counting on Britain to tear itself apart with rivalrous infighting. And there's a time when you just have to put the politics aside and say that there are bigger fish to fry. I think that what we're doing here is we're normalizing pathological behavior on behalf of 2 generations that will not take the hint that they...
Okay, I don't know how much of this I care about. This is not going to be... What's your opinion on Gene? I don't care at all. I'm just going to ban you again. It happens every time. I'm just going to ban you, dude. Okay, don't care.
He took the hook, he took the line, he took the singer, he took the entire...
She had the host on her side. Kamala versus Harris debate. Super panel. Let's see. I think I saw Piers Morgan does think that Kamala won. Thank God.
Well, Donald Trump and his supporters have rightly complained for weeks that Kamala Harris is dodging questions on her record, her platform, and her litany of
okay, well, starting off strong, dude.
Opportunity to ask those questions and to land a decisive blow in the race for the White House, but Trump didn't take it. Harris laid out a series of glaring traps for the former president, and like a cartoon mouse distracted by the cheese, he became ensnared by all of them. Right off the bat, she was asked a simple question about the economy and responded with babble. When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So
I understand the complaint about this answer. Vert Gang, what's up, Sergeant? I understand the complaint about like the answer, but I feel like Kamala's economic policy is way more laid out than Trump's. What is Trump? Trump has said tax cuts and tariffs. Okay, that's all he says, and he won't even say. He doesn't even know how much tariffs should go up. He doesn't even have. He said multiple different conflicting things on how high tariffs should be. Like, just shut the fuck up, dude.
And I am actually the only person on the stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people.
What does any of that really mean? But Trump didn't capitalize on that word salad. In fact, he allowed Harris to deflect and distract him all night in a way he wouldn't normally allow to happen. When Harris was pressed on the crisis at the border, which should have been a home run for Trump, she snared him with rage bait about his rallies, and it worked.
You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like
This was
Hannibal
so
Lecter.
based.
He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his
Do
rallies
you just need to
early
impose
out of
Paris, or
exhaustion
do
and
you need
boredom.
Congress to
People
impose
don't go
tariffs,
to
or
their
can Trump just do it? It's complicated. So the president has the Congress delegated the authority to impose tariffs to the president in cases of like national security and stuff. So I would Trump can impose tariffs. Now, I would imagine if he imposed as high in as broad a tariffs as he wants like 10% tariffs on all imports, I would imagine someone would sue him over it and say, hey, this isn't within his authority. There's clearly no national security threat from literally every single nation that we import from. But yeah, he could do a lot of tariffs without the need for Congress, yes.
Rallies, there's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation.
In fishing parlance, Kamala put out the rod and caught a big one. Remember, at that point, they were supposed to be debating Kamala's record on immigration. Instead, she got exactly what she wanted. Trump was visibly irritated and never really got unirritated. Well, today, the big headline on immigration is that Trump repeated a crazy story about Haitian migrants eating cats and dogs. On abortion, where polling shows that Trump is weakest, he ranted about babies being executed after 9 months. Not until the very end of the debate, his closing statement, did Trump deliver the message he should have been hammering all night.
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years.
I hate this criticism so much because, A, the Biden administration has done a ton of things. They have done a ton of things. They've done things very similar to the things that she's proposing. They've expanded the child tax credit, and Kamala wants to expand the child tax credit again. Like, they've done so many of these things. And then secondly, was it, I don't know, because I've only really paid attention to the other election cycles, but like, or to the other Trump election cycles, not before that. Was this ever a point brought up when like Obama was running for a second term? Was this brought up where people were like, why haven't you done it before? Is this ever a thing that normally comes up? Is any person running for re-election like, can they not argue any policy? They can't argue any policy at all because they'll just reply with, why haven't you done it? They can't propose any new policy? Really? Is that really a standard that we're holding us to? They know Trump was in office before as well, right? Why didn't Trump do these things that he's proposing now when he was in office? Like,
they've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it?
That was the line, which she should have hammered for 90 minutes. Americans felt richer and the world felt safer. When I was in the White House, he should have said, you guys have been asleep at the wheel. But it was too little too late. Harris was the clear winner. Today, there's a lot of talk about the apparently biased ABC News moderators, and I think Trump has a point. They roasted him with barbed questions and rabidly fact-checked him throughout, while Harris gleefully repeated bogus claims about Project 2025.
They fact-checked him 3 times, and they gave Trump the last word on literally every single topic. Trump had the first word on one more topic than Kamala, and Trump had the last word on everything, dude. They probably should have fact-checked Harris on the very fine people quote and on the blood sports quote, but like that's the only. Like, if you lie way more than Kamala Harris does, yeah, you're probably going to be fact-checked way more than Kamala Harris is. And, like, I feel like, what was I going to say? Oh, they did not fact-check Trump on, like, 90% of his lies in that debate. So, like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Who cares?
Both sides, a bloodbath and dictator on day one. But Trump must have known all that was coming. He should have had better responses. He's got 54 days left to come up with a better response. Well, joining me now is the host of Tommy Lahren is Fearless on Outkick, Tommy Lahren, host of the Michael Knowles Show, Michael Knowles, founder and CEO of the Young Turks,
I wonder what Michael Knowles thinks. Oh, Cenk.
And host of No Lie,
Brian Taylor Cohen, let's go.
Tyler Cohen, Brian Tyler Cohen. So, Cenk, you're the only one without your name on the title. What's the matter with you?
Because our network is gigantic. It's not just about me.
Let me start with you, Cenk, because you've repeatedly called me a Trump sympathizer, a Trump whisperer, a Trump supporter, all these ridiculous things. I'm very happy, as I tweeted earlier, to say to you that I think Kamala Harris not only won the debate last night, she won it quite comfortably. And I was very surprised by that. I thought she began nervously, but grew in confidence. Trump started confidently and then pretty much lost the plot and responded to a lot of her deliberate goading in entirely the way she would have hoped. So I think it was a big win for Kamala Harris. It may not move the needle in the immediate aftermath in terms of the election, but in terms of momentum and in terms of what happened to the Democrats after the last debate, you've got to say it was a good night.
Yeah, Piers, look, in your intro, you're fair, and you're right. Kamala Harris definitely won, and Donald Trump clowned himself. But you're kind of rooting for Trump, and you could tell that you were disappointed in how it went. So I get it. You guys are friends. It's okay.
I'm actually, you've always miscategorized. Just to be clear, I'm not disappointed. I genuinely thought he was going to win. They're different things. And he didn't win. And that's a problem for Trump and a good night for Kamala Harris. And so they're different things. You know, I don't have a horse in the race. I can't vote for anybody. I do know Trump way better than I know Kamala Harris. But I'm always trying to be fair. I've told you this before, and I think I'm being fair now when I absolutely say Kamala won.
Yeah, I hear you. Look, it's your bias, whether it's slight or significant, is irrelevant. Don't sweat it, okay?
I'm not biased.
you know what? Here's
based.
Okay.
All right, let's move on.
So seriously, look, I was on here after the Biden-Trump debate, and I said Biden got annihilated, and he did, right? You have to be fair and objective, and I think you were in the intro here. There's no question that Trump got annihilated here. And MAGA has the same problem that the establishment has. The establishment thinks that everybody thinks like that. And they think,
Why are we immediately
doesn't
pivoting to
everybody
the
love status quo?
establishment?
No, the overwhelming majority of the country constantly wants change because their lives are not as good as the millionaire anchors on television. But television anchors just cannot get that through their heads, right? And they love corporate rule, but the rest of the country doesn't. And MAGA has the same problem because they think, oh, doesn't everybody know that Haitian immigrants are eating cats and dogs? I saw an out-of-context video online that right-wing media told me there's Haitians. Oh, that's it. All the immigrants are eating cats and dogs. Look, MAGA, you're not getting it. No one else thinks that. First of all, it's not true.
There was rumors of people like Kamala who want to consolidate everything of a national
that,
brainwash education.
the rest of the country
Yeah, I
doesn't
know.
think
Yeah,
like you.
definitely
So
true.
when you say
Localist
stuff
college.
like that,
You
you
missed the
sound
free will debate. He
unhinged.
already did
When
it.
you says
But
Trump still won the election as Trump did last night, you
I
sound
won, by the
unhinged.
way.
When you talk about post-birth abortions, that's not a thing that exists. I know in your mind you think it does, but A, it doesn't. In objective reality,
oh no,
there's
Michael
just
Knowles
murder.
is smiling.
There's no
Oh
such law
no.
in
Oh
America
no, he's
at
going to
all.
mention a quote by
Right-wing
the
media
Virginia
lie to you,
governor.
lure
Oh
you,
no.
trick you. But most importantly, the people that are going to decide this election are not MAGA, are not establishment. They're guys in the middle. And when they see Trump talking about eating cats and dogs and executing babies, he looks nuts, and it drives them all into Kamala Harris's arms. So if you're MAGA, you should be furious at Trump tonight.
Okay,
or today.
let me go to Tommy first on this. Tommy, I want to play that clip where he talked about the Haitian migrants eating pets. Let's take a look.
What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
The thing is, Tommy, that should have been a home run for Trump. Right, this is absolutely his wheelhouse. She was the border czar.
Oh,
She's dropped the ball
please.
massively. That's all we have to say.
Please don't
Going
suck up
down
to
this
Trump.
ridiculous
Please don't do
conspiracy
it.
rabbit
Please
hole
don't
of
do it,
migrants
woman.
eating everyone's pets,
Please.
which had already been discredited. Certainly, there's no actual evidence to prove it at the moment.
Good
It
one.
just seemed, as
Localist.
Jake says, he sounded a bit nuts, and he lost the momentum of what should have been a home run.
I don't disagree that he missed a huge opportunity to hold her to account on the border invasion that happened on her watch. She didn't answer why she let 10 million plus in. That was a question she was asked that she dodged because the low-hanging fruit
Don't you mean 21 million? Trump said 21 million. Come on,
about
come
the
on.
bipartisan border bill, but I don't disagree with you. Trump had an opportunity to hold her feet to the fire, and he didn't do it. Now, I will also say this. If Donald Trump wanted to talk about Springfield, Ohio, or Aurora, Colorado, or other communities that are being devastated by mass immigration of foreign nationals, he could have taken that opportunity because it's a very real thing that's happening. Sanctuary cities are going broke and bankrupt, taking care of millions of people that have been thrown into their communities that refuse to assimilate. He could have discussed it in that way because these communities are being devastated, and you have people at city council meetings that are quite frankly talking about it. But he chose to go a different route. I wish he had not done that. I wish he would have taken the bait. There's no doubt he took the bait, he took the hook, he took the line, he took the sinker, he took the entire frickin' boat. And I am frustrated by that, and I am intellectually honest enough to say it. I wish he had not done that. He missed several opportunities last night, but that does not change the fact
all right, thank
that Kamala
God. Let's see.
Harris's
Let's see
record,
if Michael
both in
Knowles
2020 and
says the same
3.5
thing.
years in office is abysmal. I wish he would have focused on that.
Yeah, I agree. Let me bring in Michael actually on this as another conservative here. Were you disappointed when that debate finished that Trump played it the way he did?
All right, please.
I thought it finished strong. I felt that Trump's closing statement was excellent. I agree with you, Piers. He should have given the closing statement probably as the introductory statement. I thought Trump did very well for the first 20 or 25 minutes. I thought that was a pretty clear victory. And then when Kamala, quite good at manipulating people, was able to get him to fall for the trap on the crowd sizes, that did throw things. However, that was also when the moderators stepped in, the so-called moderators. And so you really did have a
doing the biased
moderators stuff. There were missed opportunities. But, Cenk earlier mentioned that President Trump said all sorts of things that aren't true. And the example he used was the notion of post-birth abortion, the notion that babies are killed through
Oh, mention the Virginia governor.
And Lindsay Davis, who was one of the so-called moderators, made this point when she fact-checked Trump. But she was wrong, and Cenk is wrong, and this is really happening. And the irony of it is that one of the chief proponents of killing babies who survive abortion after birth is Kamala Harris's own running mate, Tim Walz. This is not difficult to look up.
Oh, I mentioned the Minnesota thing.
Governor Walz in
Okay.
Minnesota repealed legal requirements that would force doctors who have babies who have survived abortions to provide medical care for them as they would to any other patient. So that is happening. When President...
By the way, it's federal law. The Born Alive Act prohibits this, by the way, federally at least. Says that every infant who survives an abortion is considered a person under federal law.
Trump quoted the
2002.
Democratic governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, who said that after a baby is born, if the mother doesn't want it, they'll have a conversation with the doctor, see what they're going to do. That's on tape. You don't need to take my word for it. You can go watch it on tape. So
I knew he was going to mention the Virginia governor quote. Oh, my God. Yeah, I knew it. Sounds it. Every infant. Yeah, again, the Born Alive Act prohibits this federally.
there
But
were
yeah.
multiple instances of the moderators intervening and lying on Kamala's behalf, and then they never at any point fact-checked Kamala's lies. So I agree. I'm not saying it was the greatest performance ever. I think there were a number of missed opportunities from President Trump. I suspect his campaign advisors told him not to get aggressive. I thought it was crazy that he never called out the moderators. People always ought to attack the media in politics.
Do you know what I thought? You know what I thought, Michael? I just thought at the end that he was a bit boring, Trump. And the one thing he cannot be is boring. Because the point of Trump is he's so different to every other politician. He either makes you laugh, or he shocks you, or he's combative, or there's stuff always going on.
Well, I mean, he was pretty unhinged.
Last night. I just felt that he was very repetitive, and he got caught into various traps that were laid for him.
Localists, Democrats want to codify Roe v. Wade, which has like a restriction on like 16 weeks. But yeah, they are pro-abortion.
But ultimately, I just thought he wasn't very entertaining either. So on every level, he wasn't Trump-like.
I agree there were a few moments where there should have been more pizzazz, but then don't forget when he was talking about the cats and the dogs and the Haitian migrants, which we're all calling it a discredited story, but of course there are Springfield residents talking about this, and really all of the kind of evocative graphic details are really just there to call people's attention to the fact that Kamala Harris brought 300,000 people from a failed state with rampant cannibalism into the middle of America. That's something that most Americans don't like. When he did get a little spicier, he had some good lines about sending Kamala Harris a MAGA hat and how her economic policy that she stole from Biden and from him amounted to a run, spot, run. There were some decent lines. I just felt he had to get aggressive in a different way, and he especially has to get aggressive on the moderators if they're going to intervene.
Yeah, because I don't think he's worked out quite how to do that with Kamala Harris. We bring in Brian. I mean, Brian, look, I think it was a clear win for her. I think also the fact that Taylor Swift, the biggest pop star on the planet, arguably ever, has such a ringing,
Face Taylor
emphatic
Swift
endorsement.
moment.
When many people thought she may just avoid doing that altogether. Everyone kind of knew her leanings, but they thought maybe, she's with this big burly NFL guy, very popular in Middle America, and would she actually show her colours in such an emphatic way? Well, she did, and she chose Kamala's big win night to do it. So a double win, I think, for Kamala Harris, especially with young women who would have been watching that debate, heard all the abortion stuff, saw Taylor Swift's comments and so on. But, and it's an important but really, this race is absolutely wafer thin. I had Nate Silver from 538 on last week saying it literally is as close as it could possibly be. Do you really think that this will move the needle in the race, or has it, what it's really done,
I doubt it'll move the needle too much, but
impetus, particularly after the debate debacle with Joe Biden?
Do I really think that Taylor Swift's endorsement, where her biggest audience is Gen Z, which is the smallest vote, which is the biggest voting bloc, but the voting bloc in which the fewest people vote, and she just posted to millions of people a voter registration link in her Instagram? Do I think that that will have an impact in this election, where the margins are probably going to be decided by tens of thousands or just thousands of votes? Absolutely, and I think that we should take advantage of every opportunity that we get. It's important to note too that Donald Trump forced her hand. This was an unforced error because he was so desperate to lie about accepting her endorsement by posting some AI Swifties for Trump photo. He couldn't help himself but lie. And so that forced her hand in terms of then going out there and saying, look, I don't know if I would have said anything, but because there was manipulated photos out there, I thought the right course of action was to correct the record and let my actual position be known. And so because this guy is incapable of telling the truth, because he has to wield lies on a daily basis, because every time he opens his mouth, he has to spew disinformation and misinformation, he screwed himself here. And so he's the one that's going to be hurt from all of this. But moving back to just something that I think Michael said and Cenk said, Cenk started off very rightly talking about how Republicans and Donald Trump seem unhinged by perpetuating these ideas that dogs and cats are being eaten and that women are having post-birth abortions. And the first thing that Michael does when he comes on here is perpetuate these exact claims. Look, you guys can do this until you're blue in the face. I don't know how to convey the extent to which when Republicans say this kind of stuff, it does not resonate with normal people. And you seem crazy. And Donald Trump went out there on stage, got laughed at by the entire nation. And then, Michael, you come on here and you do the exact same thing. So please, triple down on this. Quadruple down on this. Make this election a referendum on this bogus notion that women are executing their babies after they're born. I beg of you, we'll see how that works out.
Okay. Brian, just to respond briefly, Brian, all I did...
Oh, does he not know? He doesn't know the... Dude, I'm pretty sure even I don't know about the Minnesota one, but I'm pretty sure the Virginia governor quote, the way he says that, the way he said it is he said, he said I'll have a conversation with the mother, and I think it was if the baby could in theory be saved, they'll have a conversation with the mother and resuscitate the baby. But I don't even think it was. I don't even think it was the afterbirth abortion thing. Virginia government, our governor, afterbirth abortion fact check. And again, it's federally illegal anyway. Specific requirements relate to abortion in Virginia, including reducing the number of doctors 3 to 1 needed to certify third trimester abortion. The bill also proposed eliminating the need to find any such impairments in a woman's health to be substantiated or redeemable. Virginia only allows abortion through the second trimester of pregnancy, and after that, only when 3 doctors conclude the continuity of the pregnancy is likely to result in death in a woman or substantially and irredeemably impair the mental and physical health of the woman. My bill would allow that, yes. The press comments, Northern defended his comments when asked if he elaborated in language in a radio interview. In regards to resurrection and conversation parents, Northern spoke about interacting with parents and how it felt it was meant to stay private. I practiced medicine for 30 years now. I can say that a child neurologist had a very difficult conversation with parents and families during very tragic times, and that is why discussions. Okay, where's the actual first quote? Okay, I don't know what the actual first quote is, but yeah, it's not even true.
Harris's running mate.
I don't know if it's in Minnesota.
The position that he currently holds. So, if you think that sounds crazy or wild, or I don't know what to tell you. But then
Well, signed a Protective Reproduction Operations Act, codifying abortion access in Minnesota is one of the few states that does not prohibit abortion in the past the state's viability. According to the so it's not past the stage of viability. Minnesota data from shows that only show that in 2022 only 2 abortions occurred between 25 and 30 weeks, and none after 30 weeks. Late-term abortions typically occur to save the mother's life. Okay.
I suppose we're living in different countries. I think Cenk made a much better point than Ryan just made. And Cenk's point was that Americans want change. They don't like the status quo. And I think that's absolutely true. And I do think this was the missed opportunity of the debate. The status quo is Kamala Harris. Right. She's the vice president. She's been imbued with presidential authority on immigration and other issues. So the change agent is Donald Trump here. That's what the debate's got to be about. That's what the election focus has to be about.
But actually, most viewers would have had the complete opposite impression. I mean, somehow, miraculously, Cenk, I thought Kamala Harris managed to present herself as the change option here. Given the fact she's been VP for only 4 years is extraordinary. Ben Shapiro, your great friend, tweeted this. This debate won't matter. The American people still know nothing about Kamala Harris's positions. Donald Trump is still Donald Trump.
Oh my God, it's such a dumb that good as I hate Ben Shapiro so much, dude.
Flaming dog turd.
Okay, so first of all, I'm enjoying everybody saying that I'm right. Thank you, guys. So in this debate, Kamala Harris, the right wing is saying manipulated Donald Trump into being dumb and saying dumb things. Well, what does that tell you about Donald Trump? I mean, really, guys,
True.
You know it too if you're a right winger. He got manipulated that easily. He's such a spoiled little child. The minute you mention his toy, which is the rallies, he's like, no, my rallies are bigger than your rallies. Come on, you're running for president, brother. Be a little bit bigger than that. But he can't help himself. He's a tiny, weak man. That's why he was baited so easily. His mind is weak. So look, as the conservatives here talking about post-birth abortion, really name one case in the entire country where a woman had a baby and then executed it, and the state said, oh, that's totally okay. We allow post-birth abortion.
There were 8 cases.
You can't name one case because it's never happened, and you guys sound absolutely nuts when you say it. So I agree with Brian. Keep saying nutso things. In fact, hold on, I'm not done yet. Hold on. And then now they're attacking the moderators. Attacking the moderators is so weak. First of all,
I have no clue where he's getting this number from.
there's no crying in politics. So when you cry about the moderators, you're just telling everybody we lost the debate. Thank you for admitting it. Second of all, now some right-wing media loons are talking about arresting the ABC moderators and shutting down ABC. Okay, do you know how pathetic and unhinged you sound when you make statements like that? First of all, what happened to free press? I thought you guys were in favor of free speech. All of a sudden, when your feelings get hurt, shut down the whole network, arrest it. What happened to cancel culture? Okay, so look, guys, if you don't want people to think you're going to be nuts and dictatorial, don't say things like, we're going to arrest.
Ben Shapiro always has the worst takes. Not surprising, true, accurate. The moderators were shit. I feel like the moderators were fine. Trump was allowed to interrupt and got the last word on literally every single thing. Obviously, they fact-checked him more than Kamala, but he also lied more than Kamala.
Doing fact checks. And don't say that people are eating cats and dogs and they're cannibals, as Michael said. What are you talking about? Look, anyway, Brian's right. Keep going.
All right, let me bring Tommy in.
To us.
I thought this was an important part as well. This is when Kamala Harris talked about Vladimir Putin and said that Putin would eat Trump for lunch. Let's take a look at this.
What you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
Now, Tommy, it's interesting because Trump has always presented himself as the strong man on the world stage. And you're looking at these two candidates last night thinking which one would be a more effective, powerful commander-in-chief. What did you think of that exchange? Was Trump robust enough in going back at Kamala Harris? It seemed to me like she kept jabbing him with stuff like that, and he wasn't really coming back hard.
Well, there's no doubt that this was very choreographed by the Kamala Harris team, and she did an excellent job executing that performance. It was an act, and she did a great job. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that she didn't. She knew exactly what to say, and she knew exactly how to say it to get Donald Trump to say the lines that the American people are sick of hearing. The American people didn't want to hear him say anything nice about Putin because the Russia, we've been through this before. I don't know why he took that bait.
What did Kamala I feel like lied about the blood sports quote and a very fine people quote. But like, what else was there? What else should she lie about?
All he would have had to say is, listen, in my administration, I defeated ISIS in the caliphate. There were no new wars. There was no incursion by Russia into Ukraine, as there were during the Obama administration and certainly during the Biden administration. He could have doubled down on his discussion of China and how he really put China on its heels. He could have said all of those things, how he bankrupted Iran, which he did to an extent, but he could have hammered down on those more. Unfortunately, he took the bait. What I'm most disappointed in is the ABC moderator's failure to hold Kamala to account on her flip-flops. They didn't hold her to that. I think they asked exactly one question on the economy. It was the first one, and she didn't answer it. I think if we're talking about the poor performance by the ABC moderators, not only do I think it was a 3-on-1, I think they could have asked more questions that the American people actually cared about. Talking about moving forward, they spent so much time talking about 2020, about the election, about January 6th. They could have talked about the future.
That's a totally fair question to ask Trump, considering how much he lied about the 2020 election and considering and considering how big a deal J6 was. That's a totally fair question to place Trump on. Number one. Number two, I think they asked literally one question about each of those. They asked if he regretted anything about J6, and they asked if he still thought the 2020 election was stolen.
I wish they would have done that. I wanted to hear more about the plans and the policy positions of Kamala Harris and why she's not the same as she was in 2019 and 2020. That's what I wanted to hear. That's not what we were given. I think it was a failure on Donald Trump's part to redirect, but I also think it was a failure on ABC's behalf to talk about the things the American people actually care about.
Yeah, I mean, Michael, I'm going to play a mashup of all Kamala's facial expressions because she kept turning and looking directly at Trump, and it was quite effective. Let's take a look.
In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy, but if she ever got elected, she'd change it. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country, like they have, and policies like they have, I don't say her because she has no policy.
Now, Michael, it was a very deliberate aesthetic thing that she was doing, which was to keep turning to Trump and kind of laugh at him, mock him, look aghast at him, and so on. And you can look at it two ways. You could say she overhammed it, but I did think it was quite effective to viewers watching at home.
I found it wore a little bit thin, but de gustibus non disputandum est, so, people's mileage may vary with that. There was a real irony with the rules around this debate and Kamala's facial and even vocal interjections, which is, during that first debate back in June, Joe Biden wanted the mics to be cut when the opponent wasn't speaking. And Trump agreed to that eventually, and that rule ended up really helping Trump. Then in this debate, Kamala wanted the mics to be on so she could have her I'm-speaking moment, and Trump insisted that the mics remain off. And ironically, it seems to have helped Kamala here, because I think had her mic been on and she had interjected with all of these rude remarks and her over-the-top facial expressions, I think it would have made Trump look even calmer and more presidential by comparison. So she did relatively well. And the other really impressive
Trump
thing
also
she did
interrupted,
she got rid of
but
that
okay.
crazy cackle. That crazy cackle she's had on the campaign trail for decades at this point.
Oh
that
my God.
disappeared overnight. And whoever prepped her on that deserves a prize in political science.
Well, she also, Brian, she also...
Why do we care? Why do we care about that? Dude, Trump has shitty dance moves, but that's not the reason I'm not voting for him. Who cares?
The word salad stuff. I mean, she did right off the top when she clearly looked nervous. But once she settled in, we didn't get the normal stream of word salad stuff, which I thought, again, was a plus for her. But the big question for Kamala Harris now is, she's...
Hold on, where's the Trump?
Dude,
I hate the word salad criticism so much. Where was it? I feel like I have a screenshot of the child care answer from Trump. Dude, that thing is so bad. Unbelievably bad. Oh my God. There's no reason to criticize Kamala for the word salads after that. Trump child care. What's their transcript? This is the non-Trump word salad here. Well, I would do that, and we're sitting down. I was, somebody said we had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, because childcare is childcare, it's something you have to have in this country. You have to have it. But when you talk about those numbers compared to the kind of numbers that I'm talking about by taxing foreign nations at levels that they're not used to, but they'll get used to it very quickly, and it's not going to stop us from doing business with us, but they'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare, that it's going to take care. We're going to have, I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time, coupled with the reductions I told you about on waste and fraud and all the other things that are going in our country. Because I have to say, with childcare, I want to stay with childcare, but those numbers are relatively small. Are small relative to the kind of economic numbers that I'm talking about, including growth. But growth is also headed up by the plan. The plan is that I just told you about. We're going to be taking in trillions of dollars, and as much as childcare is talking about as being expensive, it's relatively speaking not expensive compared to the kind of numbers we'll be taking in. We're going to make this into an incredible country that can afford to take care of its people, and then we'll worry about the rest of the world. Let's help other people, but we're going to take care of our country first. It's about America first. It's about making America great again. We have to do it because right now we're a failing nation, so we'll take care of it. Thank you. Very good question. That's not a word salad, though. That's just that's a really nice hammered out policy position that Trump proposed. If you look at Kamala's debate strategy in 2020 and 2024, it's just spewing BS media narratives, which are usually emotional fallacies. You don't get to make that criticism when Trump literally said that immigrants were eating fucking cats and dogs, bro.
Fantastic night.
That's like a fake Twitter narrative. That's not even a media narrative. That's worse.
I think she continues doing what she did on that debate stage. That debate stage was a microcosm of this actual debate, which was to draw the contrast between somebody who beats his chest about law and order while simultaneously presenting himself as a 34-time convicted felon, continuing to hammer away at the fact that Donald Trump is responsible for overturning Roe in this country, which is an issue that has killed Republicans, that has cost Republicans elections in Virginia and Ohio and Kansas and Kentucky and Alabama, while Kamala Harris has presented herself as a champion of abortion rights. And really, to put on full display her vision for the future. I think what's so interesting is that Tommy brought up this idea that the onus was on Kamala.
I just pointed to a very clear example of Trump spreading a false fucking narrative. The fucking immigrants eating cats and dogs thing. That's a way more insane narrative than anything Kamala said, dude. But okay.
To present some vision for the future. And if we think about this election, as far as Trump is concerned, is entirely predicated on seeking vengeance for what happened on January 6th. He wants to release the January 6th insurrectionists who've been prosecuted, who've been indicted and charged. He's solely focused on getting retribution
release
for those
the
people
J6
who happened on January
hostages.
6th. He was asked in this debate whether he would sign a nationwide abortion ban multiple times, refused to answer it. You want to talk about a vision for the future? He won't talk about what he's offering for the future. He's solely focused on
that localist. That is 100% untrue. If you fell for that, you're just fucking retarded, dude. It's all been. There are no credible reports of that. It's insane that you believe that, dude.
Relitigating events from the past.
Ryan, Donald Trump on his campaign website, the first link is the platform page. It's a 20-point, fairly specific plan on what he will do on inflation.
Kamala has an issue page too.
He's said repeatedly he doesn't want a national abortion ban on foreign affairs. Kamala Harris.
Do you mean you saw the person that wasn't even a Haitian immigrant? It was just a random black dude carrying a goose? That's already been the
a policy page on her website. It was only when some of us in the conservative media pointed out that she was lacking in this vision that they threw one up, and it was shown by the source code that much of it was stolen from Biden. The rest of it was stolen from Trump. So
she's Biden's vice president. Oops. Of a non-Haitian man carrying a dead goose. I saw an actual Haitian man eating a goose IRL. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I can't fucking disprove that. Do you even live in fucking Ohio? But
I agree. She had a rather good night, obviously with a lot of help from the ABC moderators. But I think it is preposterous to say that she presented a vision for the future. There was very little policy substance discussed at all. And if there is going to be a second debate, this I think would be the silver lining in the storm cloud for Republicans, is President Trump needs to make sure that the focus is entirely on policy. They open up asking Kamala about the economy. She starts talking about when she was a little girl in the middle class or whatever. They bring up immigration. She starts talking about crowd sizes. She has got nothing on policy because the Kamala Harris-Joe Biden record on policy has been 3.5 years of unmitigated failure.
That's not true at all. What is Trump's policy, dude? Again, Trump's only policy is like tariffs. I don't even know. I don't even know how you combat this criticism anymore. Oh my God.
Because Tommy has to go. Just quickly, Tommy, before you go, what advice would you give Trump? You've always been, I think, very friendly, critical towards him, I think in an admirable way, when many just blindly go in the tank for him or blindly the other way. What advice do you give him to try and now retrieve what I think has been quite a damaging 24 hours for him?
Right. Well, I think that he needs to act very presidential, especially in these next couple of weeks. He needs to show the American people that he can, in fact, restrain himself. And sometimes that's not easy for him to do. I think we all know that. It can be his biggest attribute, but it also can make him his own worst enemy. I'm not going to make any bones about that. But I would also say my advice to Donald Trump would be this. No more rallies. You don't need to do rallies. Do smaller events, do town halls, do more interviews, do more podcasts. And Kamala Harris made one point last night that unfortunately I have to
Can we
agree
get
with.
Trump on the non-fun stream?
On tangents, he rambles. It's not helpful to him. He needs to be very concise. He needs to learn how to be brief and not ramble and hit the issues square on, because he wins on the issues. So I hope that he does that. He needs to take a page out of Ronald Reagan's book. He can still be charismatic. He can still be a performer, but he really has to buckle down and get back to business. I'd also like to see him bring Kellyanne Conway back on the team, because I think that he needs better advisors. I think his advisors are doing him a disservice by just telling him to do whatever the hell he wants. It's not working.
Or he's not listening to his advisors, which could also be true. Tommy, great to have you back in Uncensored.
He probably is not listening. He's not very good at that.
Question for you. Did you share Kamala Harris's pride that Dick Cheney has given her his endorsement, given that in 2008, the President of the United States, Joe Biden, described Dick Cheney as the most dangerous vice president in American history?
Yeah, no, I did not. That was one of the low moments for Kamala Harris. The Democrats have to stop bragging about the Cheneys. I don't know if they know this. Dick Cheney left office with an approval rating of about 9%. So, look, she did wonderful jiu-jitsu on...
But the point of it is it shows someone across the aisle recognizes that Trump is probably a threat to democracy. That's the point of it.
Got him talking about eating cats and dogs when it should have been a strength. It was a massive weakness for him. But on this issue, the Republican Party is the one that gave us Dick Cheney. And they gave us the Iraq War, the endless wars and the corruption and all of that. Stick them with it. Instead, embracing it is not the right way to go. But it goes to my point that I've been saying all along, Piers, which is that people can't think outside their own bubble. The establishment thinks, oh, doesn't everybody love Dick Cheney? We all love Dick Cheney. We all love everyone who was in power, and we kiss up to them. No, the country hates Dick Cheney. And MAGA thinks, oh, yeah, babies are being executed all over the country because of Tim Walz. Yeah, A, it's not true, and B, no one else believes that. So if you keep saying it, it's not going to help your cause. And Piers, you know what I've been saying for about a year now. Biden was too old and Trump was too crazy. And the first debate showed that Biden was too old, and the second debate showed that Trump was too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, I know you want to come back to something Michael said earlier, so by all means do that. But I think what's happened here.
Damn, now Chink's in a 1v3.
Republicans may have had.
Oh, wait, no, it's not. Brian Taylor comes in the side. Never mind.
And there was no
Brian,
real difference between her or Biden in terms of impact on the race itself.
Michael Knowles
I think
is
that
in
has now
1v3.
gone up in smoke. She is definitely a better candidate than Biden would have ever been, given his current cognitive state. And the momentum she will get from last night should not be underestimated. But nor should Trump's ability to bounce back. In a way, he's at his most dangerous as a politician, I would argue, when he's got his, when his feet are being torched. I mean, I'll show you the cover of Time magazine, which is quite clever, and it has an image of Trump in a golf cart, trapped in a bunker. We call them bunkers here, a trap to American golfers. And there he is in his cart in the trap, and the headline is "In Trouble." But the thing about Trump is he's a much better golfer than people think he is. He can get out of bunkers, traps in golf.
When will we get the Biden,
himself to be very good.
the Biden-Trump golf match? It will never happen now. It will never happen now, unfortunately.
Out of political traps, even though he fell into a few last night. Are you concerned that the bear's being poked and may come back hard, and maybe Kamala Harris won't be able to handle that?
No, I completely disagree. I think that when Donald Trump is backed into a corner, he only hurts himself. I mean, look at what he said when he wasn't getting any attention because Kamala surged onto the screen. Her rallies were explosive. She was drawing in more people than he was. And so what did he do? He went on national TV and did, said that she wasn't black. And then he had a press conference the next day at Mar-a-Lago where he said that his rallies drew more people than Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. Every time he's backed into a corner, he tries to kind of grab back the attention with some insane thing that might be fun for his base, but it's not going to help him. People watching Donald Trump say insane things is only going to help him with the people who are already supporting him. But for that sliver of people in the middle, the sliver of people who are going to decide this race, these conservative Democrats, these independents, these pro-democracy Republicans, these low propensity voters, young people, people of color, they're not going to watch Donald Trump brag that his crowd size was bigger than Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech and think that's my guy. I've been waffling all this time, but now I know that that's my guy. I also want to harken back to something that Michael said before, which is that this idea that Kamala Harris, when she's running right now, she's running on all this baggage of the Biden-Harris administration. We have more than 16 million jobs added. We have a record high stock market. We have the lowest unemployment in 50 years. We have the strongest economy in the entire world. We've had more
True. I don't understand why he's smiling about that, but true, accurate, correct. Real GDP is higher than the projected GDP pre-COVID.
In the first 2 years of his administration than we've had in any administration in modern American history. This idea that this administration
major legislation.
Strong, that the United States is performing well, not only relative to the rest of the world.
And Michael Knowles is going to say, what about inflation? He says he's going to say highest inflation.
I'll hold the panel for a moment. Michael, you can respond in a moment. Well, we're being joined now by the former Navy SEAL and Texas Congressman Representative Dan Crenshaw. Dan, thank you so much for joining Uncensored.
Locals, we've had this conversation so many times. It's that you don't think they're fake stats. You just reject the fact that you just reject the fact that the economy represents represents the well-being of regular people at all. That's what you think. You don't think they're fake stats. You just think the economy is good, bro. Look, we've had this debate so many times, but you're just fucking dumb because you don't even think they're fake stats. I went over like whether inflation is a fake stat. You don't think inflation is a fake stat. You just think inflation doesn't represent how people feel, which like sure, the way he's trying to represent them is fake. What does that even mean? How?
Debate, my honest opinion is that Trump lost it because the expectation was that he would rough Kamala Harris up a bit and she would be exposed.
I don't care about this guy. I want to see Michael Knowles respond.
And I hope Trump listens to. Appreciate it. He can't get very right now.
That Trump landed.
To critical friends, doesn't he?
Of course, and I think what Dan said is basically exactly right there. There was one good point that Trump landed in the debate on Ukraine when he said, after Kamala boasted that she went over to negotiate with Zelensky and try to resolve this conflict that had been brewing between Russia and Ukraine, and Trump pointed out, he said, yeah, you went over, you tried to solve it, and then 3 days later the Russians invaded, so clearly it didn't work out very well. And to Dan's point, you don't just need to take Republican congressmen.
But that same logic doesn't apply to Trump going to North Korea.
Author's words for it. You can take Vladimir Zelensky's words for it. He says that the Russians invaded basically because of Biden. And Biden, in fact, in his own words, invited Putin to invade and said there wouldn't be much pushback if there were a minor incursion. So you see that on foreign policy. You see this issue on immigration, and all of the numbers Dan cited on the economy, I think, are quite apt. So then it puts Kamala in this very difficult position. She's now describing her.
It's tight. Just respond to Chen. Respond to Chen. That's what I want to see.
Probably effectively the president. How is this a new path forward? Well, if she's going to reject the policies of her own administration, what's she going to revert to? All of her previously stated policies when she did run for president in 2020, though she had to get out before the first votes were passed, were to the left of Bernie Sanders, and they were deeply unpopular. Medicare for all, including Medicare for all for illegal aliens, defund the police, bail rioters and criminals out of jail, which she did herself when she was raising money for them on Twitter, so on and so forth. This puts her in a really difficult position.
Did retweet the BLM bond,
or the even more unpopular policy she ran on the first time. That's where Trump's got to pin her. He's got to put her in this place where either way she moves, she harms herself with the voters. And whoever prepares him for that next debate needs to make sure that that is where the focus is, and he's always looking out to avoid the landmines that she can sometimes.
Who knows if there will be next debate?
Out of time a bit. Shane, final words from you about this. How significant do you think this debate will end up being in this race?
Yeah, I think these two debates are potentially two of the most significant debates that have ever happened.
God, I wish Michael Knowles responded to that. Because he would have been so stupid. It would have been so dumb.
So they're looking at the microcosm of how they would do in office. And Biden's brain melted in the first debate, and he showed you he can't make it another 4 years and force him out of the race. In this debate, Kamala Harris looked strong and in charge, and she, as almost everyone here has acknowledged, easily manipulated Donald Trump into traps that he fell into. But think about what that means. So when she's talking to Putin or other foreign leaders, she's going to be prepared and strong and be able to manipulate them to our advantage. Trump, on the other hand, was a fool. He was easily manipulated, fell into every trap. I mean, think about how unprepared he was. And that's exactly how he was as president. He never bothered to learn anything. After the 2020 election, he thought that we could terminate the Constitution because he didn't like the result of the election. That's not a thing. There is no process.
Well, I have no fucking clue. What stats do you want me to look at then? Just provide like a stat. The thing is, you reject looking at any economic stat to prove anything. It's just fucking dumb. You don't think the stats are fake. You just think the economy is meaningless. We've had this conversation before. You literally think the economy is meaningless. Stop saying you think the stats are faked when literally you just reject any notion that we should be looking at economic stats at all. That's what you think. You just don't care about it. It's fine. Just be honest about it. Just say you don't care.
Says for terminating the Constitution. He kept saying clownish things.
What stats should I look at then? To try to prove the economy is good or something, to try and prove the economy is strong. What stat could I possibly look at?
His time in office and in this debate, because he never does his homework, and that's how he is as president. He's weak, and the minute Kim Jong-un says, "Oh, I like you," he's like, "Okay, build all the nukes you want." And so you saw there. That's exactly how every foreign leader manipulates Trump into their advantage and our disadvantage. I don't want that stench of weakness in the Oval Office again.
Okay, and Brian, your final thoughts.
My final thought is, I sat here listening to Dan, to Michael. I believe Tommy made the same point about how Donald Trump has to fire his advisors when he comes back for the second debate. He can't listen to these people who steered him wrong. Does anybody actually think that Donald Trump took the advice of any of his advisors? Does he think that he's disciplined enough to take any advice and not just revert back to exactly who he is, exactly the guy that we've seen for the past nearly a decade? The second he's poked, he is so easy to bait that you could dangle a cookie in front of a 4-year-old and they would have more discipline than Donald Trump. This notion that his advisors are responsible for what happened on that debate stage is a joke. It's also, you look at someone like Ronna McDaniel, for example. She was fired as RNC chair because Donald Trump always needs to blame somebody for his own shortcomings. The reason that Republicans lost was not because of Ronna McDaniel or the RNC. It's because people aligned with Donald Trump, aligned with the America First agenda, didn't present themselves well to the American people because they're lunatics, and they lost. But Donald Trump can't take responsibility for anything, and so somebody else had to get thrown under the bus as a result of that. What we saw on that debate stage was not the fault of his advisors, was not the fault of anybody on his team, was not the fault of anybody but Donald Trump. He cannot take responsibility, which makes it especially ironic that he's running to represent the party of personal responsibility.
Okay, and Michael, your final thought.
Well, I think Ryan's point is demonstrably silly because Trump debated in a different way last night than he usually does. And so I suppose what I'm calling for, Piers, I think what you had suggested too, is that we get a little bit of that old Donald Trump back. Go after the media.
Trump won't even do. Then why won't Trump do another debate? He won't do it.
More pizzazz into it.
Who do they bring on next? I don't know if I care. I don't care about these people.
You say that Donald Trump does not appeal to the American people. He doesn't appeal even to the Republican base. That's why he's got to throw Ronna McDaniel out. Ronna McDaniel just left her position. And guess what? Donald Trump did something Kamala Harris was not able to do. Donald Trump was able to win the Republican primary for president. He was able to win his party's nomination fair and square through a process. Kamala Harris tried to win her party's nomination one time. She got thrown out of the race before the first vote was cast. And so she was able to finagle her way
They
behind
could Biden. They could my man.
It's all very impressive. But I think this is why Kamala Harris made a big mistake by challenging Trump to another debate. Because next time they might not be on the most liberal network news station. Next time they might not have a 3-on-1 debate. Next time Donald Trump might have better preparation going in. And if that's the case,
didn't Kamala say she was willing to do one on Fox News even?
Look, there's a reason the parties have primaries. It's to battle test their candidates. Kamala Harris remains completely untested. The debate was supposed to test her, but she didn't get any difficult questions whatsoever, and she had 2 people helping her out to beat Donald Trump. If we want to go for a round 2, I say, as a staunch Trump supporter, bring it on.
Arnold, thank you very much indeed. It was certainly a
Trump appears to leave door open for second debate. If Harris maybe I got in the right mood. I feel like the offer was for like any network, even Fox News, and I think Trump said no. But
fascinating night in what has become one of the most unpredictable and gripping presidential races ever. And long may it continue because it gives
moved
us
on it.
Thank you all very much. Well, RFK Jr. will be joining me very shortly, but join me.
Okay, I don't care about RFK Jr. All right, I should have started streaming fucking earlier today, so I could have knocked more of this shit out. But I got 2 videos done. Anyways. Oh, no one's on Twitch chat. I don't think I can raid people. Okay, it was a short stream, but we had fun in that debate, and I got another fucking sweet YouTube reaction video out. I'll stream a little bit early tomorrow, so I can squeeze some more fucking YouTube views out, and then fucking I gotta fix my Wi-Fi too. I'll figure that out so I can fucking stream and everything. Okay, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys watching me. Yeah, I like streaming. Love that you guys watch me. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. Bye. Here I have 2 viewers on Twitch now. Now I can raid. Danabo. Okay, thanks everyone. After metrics like mental, physical health, land ownership, fertility rate. Why do we care about that? Okay, anyway, strength of the community. Okay, see you guys.